It sounds it, yeah. It sounds it.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. We could probably end the stream there, couldn't we? What a great story.
Yeah. Another story for another time, mate.
Another story for another time.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing?
Excellent. How's yourself?
I'm all right.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
I don't think there'll be anyone here.
We are only the first 20. We're doing good.
Not bad. Not bad.
We've got.
I couldn't do this with my iPhone.
I'm on the bishop's finger tonight.
Oofed.
Daniel.
I'm on the really cheap shit.
Well, I got this on recommendation from a lot of people, and I've had a couple of cans of Guinness first. But I've got this 19 crimes. It's 10 quid a bottle, so it should be sort of better than.
That'll be better than that normal £5 shit you normally drink.
Yeah, what was that other stuff?
Yeah, but it's not wowing me. But
that drank the last time.
It's not wowing me. But I mean, that could be down to the Guinness fucking things up.
Yeah, obviously.
Have you not been? You're not drinking the wine like Jürgen drinks the wine now with Coke and
red wine,
all sorts of other things in it.
I put Coke in.
I can't.
Horrible.
Can't keep up with all these.
Simon. Wow.
We are. I was going to say we look fab, don't we, guys? We
We do.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, Mike, we use star quality on this channel. I think all of us. So.
Strutting our stuff.
Marty.
There's plenty of. I'm just going to shoot through these because I don't want to miss anybody.
Gordon.
Well, thanks to everyone who is tuning in.
Oh yeah, what a turnout that is.
We've obviously been missed. I've not been on since May.
My fault, everyone.
It's been that long.
May was our last one, I think.
It's because we've all gone off and had solo careers, haven't we? And
yeah,
this is the big reunion.
This is our comeback.
It's been that long ago. I thought the last video we did was the Thrash one, but I think we've done one since then. He's made it. What a star!
I knew he'd make it. I told you.
Yeah, I bet he's been sick.
I put me Sodom Bomblehagel.
And what does that mean, Mark?
Obviously, I don't know, but I was just showing off after my German lesson from Jürgen.
Well, obviously you weren't showing off that. No, you didn't take it in.
No, that's all I could think of.
Got a solid D- for that one.
It was a spur of the moment thing, really. That, Mike. Don't spoil it. That must be Mike. Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely Mike.
Oh, hang on.
That's Paul.
Why didn't you just say it was Paul from Enchantment before you clown? I just thought it was a random Paul.
That's like, remember, we didn't know. I bought that Nuclear Assault CD off you, Mike. I didn't even know it was you.
Was it Nuclear Assault?
Is it? Hold on a second. Is it Paul that bought some records off you, Mike?
So he's just bought some cassettes.
Oh, was he?
but he just said it was Paul, and he met me at Acid Rain, and I just thought, well, right, okay, but if he'd have just said it's Paul from Enchantment, I would have went, oh, well, fair enough. But he didn't.
Should have doubled your price. These big rock stars on the fucking big bucks, you know.
I accepted a lower offer before I knew it was him.
You're a fucking gentleman, you know that.
Yeah, you are. And you shouldn't have, because he's fucking loaded. He buys it every day.
I've got a big heart.
Did he ring you straight after, Mark, and say how we'd ripped off some fella on
yeah,
eBay?
funnily enough, yeah. This mug on eBay, I tell you, I've had his pants down, he said. Nice one, Peter. What a turnout. I'm well impressed with that.
So
we should probably end now because I think we've had this many.
Yeah. We've peaked too early.
Thanks for coming, and
right. So second release Thrash albums. Before we show anything, what sort of experience was it for you? lot while we were preparing for this video and listening, like refreshing your memories?
It was worse than the debuts.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what?
I mean, I never really actually thought about it until you mentioned it, and then I thought I didn't enjoy the journey as much as I did with the debuts, because I mean some of the debuts are just fucking insanely good, and then even you get to even the well-known ones, and you're thinking, like the well-known second releases, and you're thinking, this might not even make the top 5. I had a couple of good experiences though. Like some albums I got to know a lot better. So I was like, all right, okay, that could actually make the top 5, which I didn't think would make my top 5. So kind of swings and roundabouts, but the quality isn't there when it comes to the second releases compared to the debuts.
I found I had like a small amount that I knew going in were going to be up there, and I thought, well, I might get some surprises along the way when I sit down and listen to them. And honestly, some of them I couldn't even get through. I was just like, why the fuck do I even own this? This is because it's ingrained into me. Yeah. You know, I need to own this. And I put it on and I thought, oh shit.
I think that's exactly it. I think a lot of it, especially with the ones I picked out, there's so much nostalgia attached. But actually, when I've started listening to a few of these and I've listened to it, I've just thought that now the age I am doesn't appeal to me like it did to me when I was 22, 23, 24. You know, it's a completely different listening experience now, isn't it?
I mean, for me, it's the same listening experience, but I imagine for you, it's not like you're sitting like 18 years old, sitting with your mates in somebody's bedroom, all just fucking living life.
Absolutely, yeah. That's exactly
discovering new albums. Just now, it's like, I think when you compare them all, like, because what I've been doing is just going back to back with them all, and when you compare them to each other, you think, fucking hell, that's not as strong as I thought. And then, believe it or not, sorry, it's hard as well because, to be honest, I wasn't really in a major thrash mood over the last couple of weeks.
No, I wasn't.
So there's some that I thought, you know, that is really good, but I'm just not in the mood for it.
I'm always in a thrash mood.
I don't. Well, I know you're always in a thrash mood.
I had quite a good experience with this actually, because there's a lot here that I haven't listened to in a long time. And there's some that I mean, I didn't know back in the 80s, and most of them, you know, were 80s, early 90s albums I've got here. And a couple of them I've really kind of clicked with this week for the first time, listening to them. And I didn't even know some of these bands back then. So some of them are ones I've just picked up through watching other people's videos. But like the quality of the albums is nowhere near as good in a lot of cases as the first album. There's very, very few in here, maybe only one or two that I would point to and say I prefer to the debut album. But I quite enjoyed it this week. Some of them, like you're saying, Scott, some of them really went up in my estimations. I just thought, I didn't realize I liked that one that much. And some of them, certainly one in here that I wondered why I really held it in such high regard before. And there aren't any albums here that I would say, oh, I wish I didn't own that now. I like them all, but there are some that surprised me and some that maybe I thought I'd bigged up in my own head a bit too much in the past.
Yeah.
And one band in particular, I've decided that I'm not actually that big a fan of their early catalogue. And we'll come to that one.
So it must be quite interesting for the people watching to believe that we actually do research for these live streams. And this is what comes of it.
It's hard research, isn't it?
They're bound to see the quality in these streams and know there's a lot of work goes into it.
Yeah. I've found it. It's been nice. I always enjoy sort of doing the research for our live streams because it is a good chance to reconnect. But I am surprised, like you, Mike, that I've reconnected with some, and some I've just thought, wow, I and like Andy said, I always held it in sort of high regard, and I'm not sure if I do anymore.
I think down the line, we absolutely have to do a third album release because I can think of some absolutely awesome third albums as good as debuts And I don't know what it is, but the second albums, I thought it was thin pickings with the quality. And I've been talking to like a few people through the week, getting ideas off them, and just sort of asking them what they would pick, just in case I'd forgot to even listen to it. And a couple of people picked the same album that would definitely be in their top 5. And I owned it, so I put it on. I was like, oh. So I thought, oh, never mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter really whether it's good or bad. It's still something to talk about, isn't it? It's still put me on.
So before we actually start showing albums, let's just give a quick reminder of how we do this. So we're going to build the top 5, and we're going to build it as we go. So the first 5 albums we show are going to be our top 5 to start with, and then every album we show after, we decide whether it's better than the ones in the current top 5 list. And we boot one out and we add it in, or we leave it as it is. And then when we've got 5 albums and we've been through all our albums, we then do the ranking at the end. So we're just going to have a pool of 5 albums, try and figure out the best between us. Now, the way it went last time, there'll probably be a few tears as 1 or 2 people's favorite albums don't make the group top 5. So it's an interesting experience as we go along. So this is a collective. So we all know what our top 5 are, I think, in our head, but the list that comes out of it may well be different. But you'll see how it works as we go along.
That's the fun. That's the fun bit.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
and you're not allowed to piss me off on purpose just to get me to lose me rag.
Part of our research,
we don't need to do that.
Which one you lose your rag on the most, and we've been meeting every day, for a good hour, just discussing about which one that it's going to be.
Right. So somebody go first, because that instructions from Andy was as clear as mud to me after.
Do you know what's the last one we did, Mike?
Yeah, but just you go first.
Me?
Yeah, you've been told.
We thought we'd start with the highest IQ.
I'm not going first.
Oh, that's obviously
me, right.
No, I am going to start. I'm going to start in the UK, where thrash metal wasn't born. Going to kick off with some Onslaught, because I definitely want to see at least one British band in the list, even if it's going to get knocked off after we've done the top 5. So going with Onslaught the Force, and this is much more. So the first album was very raw, not the best album, but this one is absolute killer, good, full-on thrash metal. Psycheela's vocals, nice and squealy. Frantic. Gonna struggle now to remember the names of the songs. But oh yes, and also had to go with this one because it has the song "Contracting Blood," which is obviously what the book was based on, and our channel name was derived from it as well. So I thought at least a very good honorary mention to the album with "Contracting Blood" on it.
Okay then.
Anyone else familiar with?
That is now number one.
This is the thrashy Onslaught. This is not the In Search of Sanity Onslaught.
My Onslaught collection is quite sad, really, because I started off with In Search of Sanity. That was the first Onslaught album I heard, and then back in the day, I always presumed the albums before that were a bit punky, a bit hardcore, so I've never even heard The Force properly all the way through.
Really, I thought with your UK thrash collection, Mark, you'd be.
I know, yeah. It's just one of those bands that the early stuff sort of passed me by, and since when I've sort of gone looking for it's just eluded me, and I'm very aware that is one that I need to add to my collection. There's no doubt about it, because since hearing more about it and realising it's thrash metal, people talk so highly of it that it's shameful, really, isn't it? For a thrash
it really
metal.
is a good album.
Well, there's a box set coming out shortly. with all those albums in.
All of Onslaught's.
So
Well,
just
up
the
to a
CD,
point.
isn't it?
Just a CD box set, yeah, it's on Amazon. It's only about 20, 25 quid or something, and it's got about 6 or 7 albums in it. I haven't heard that either, and to be honest, Mark's just pretty much said verbatim, I was under the wrong impression about the band, and I thought it was more hardcore, more punk influenced. I started off with
the first
that.
album is very much like that. It's,
So yeah, I haven't actually delved back In Search of Sanity, so I've not heard that either.
I mean, I thought I didn't even listen to that for this video, so I did not think that was going to even come up. I'm more In Search of Sanity onwards. I've never heard the debut, and I've maybe heard The Force 2 or 3 times in the last 6 years or something. But it's honestly not even an album I could talk about, which is pretty sad because we're doing that's like 3 out of the 4.
Yeah,
we're doing a Thrash video.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not going to end up in our top 5, but
no, but it's number 1 for now.
But it's
and I'm pleased about that because good for Andy and nice one for embarrassing all 3 of us, Andy.
But I have to for the contracted blood element.
Yeah,
as well.
good call.
Let's move on then, because obviously that's not one that's going to be anybody's favourite. So who's going next?
Excuse me.
I'll just go then.
Let's go Scott, so we go clockwise. That's easy.
Right. Well, I've got my stack in front of me, so I don't know which one I'm going to choose. I don't want to go. That wasn't very meaty, that one, Andy.
No, that's starting us off lightly.
Right. Well, I'll go. I'm going to go meaty for the first one. And you know what? I'll stick with the UK. And it's just been mentioned in the comments. I'm going to go with Sabbat. Well, some of you might say Sabbat. Sabbat and Dreamweaver. Obviously, the second Sabbat album. Martin Walker on vocals. It's one of those albums when I first heard, I thought, wow, this is a shitload to take in. And I remember, I think the first time I heard it was in the car. And, I was kind of driving, I wasn't really concentrating. And I remember kind of like going back and forward to like really like kind of listening to the music going, what the fuck? Like, I can't concentrate on this in the car. I need to like sit down and listen to it because this is almost like when I was listening to this, just to kind of recap, it's almost like epic thrash. That's almost how it came across. It's like obviously got all these kind of tales and it's whimsical and all this kind of stuff, but the music and the vocals as well, it's just like a bombardment. And I can see, like, if you were a fresh kind of new thrash fan, I would not tell you to go and listen to this album. I think it'd be too much. But if you invest yourself in it, it's immense. It is immense, and I love the debut because that is, I wouldn't say it's chilled out, but this just ramps it up from the debut. So I think this is definitely worth a shout. My camera's fucking close as in. Definitely worth at least a shot in the top 5. I know it's going to be in the top 5 for now anyway, but I would like to quite see. I would quite like to see. That's that edible. Honestly, it's still ticking over in my body. Like. Yeah. I would like to see this in the top 5 at the end. So I think it is that good. And it's, I mean, if you want to listen to UK thrash, Sabbat or the band, I would say to go to. That's like the go-to thrash UK band. So there we go.
Is that not considered a concept album? The Dreamweaver.
Yeah, it's
that's what kind of struck me because I was reading. So I'm fairly new to Sabbat and Dreamweaver, and I was listening to it today actually. And you're right, it does take. It's kind of one you've got to stop and listen to. And I thought it was a really long album, but it's not actually that long. You have to put so much effort into listening to it. It feels like you've been listening to it for a long time. I think it's only about 3/4 of an hour. But I was thinking that that's quite a brave move doing a concept album for a thrash band. Can you think of any other thrash bands that have done concept albums? Because I couldn't.
I'm not sure. Seventh Angel, I think they're. I'm not sure if one of their albums is a Tales of the Weary. Is that not a concept? But anyway, on a different level, isn't it?
Mm.
But maybe it didn't work because they didn't last long after that, did they? Really, with Martin.
I don't know why it didn't work. I mean, but that it's more pummeling than the first one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's awesome, but it's like, whereas with the first album, I can put that on day or night. With the second one, I've kind of got to be in the mood for it. I don't really. I can start off. I can put Clerical Conspiracy on day or night because I know it like the back of my hand. But then when you go into like, what a fucking surprise! When you go beyond that, I'm like, oh fucking hell! I can't. Sometimes I'm not that way out for it. You know, it's like
it does take a lot more effort than the first one. The first one's just the lyric sheets. That just sinks in.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the vinyl, the lyric sheet inside. It was as thick as the vinyl, the record, and the sleeve. But I think it's a brilliant album. I think it's one of the best UK thrash albums ever made. I really do. I think it's brilliant. But it's a real investment. It's not like you say, Scott. You put it on the car, you feel like you're going to crash into a bridge or something. It's like it's mental. It almost takes your focus off just being alive. It's like it takes everything to listen to it. You know, his lyrics, the riffs, the tempo changes. It's just incredible. But I can listen to it, from start to finish. But I have to say, I agree with Mike. You've got to be in the right mood. It is a lot to take on, you know. I don't think I can do anything. I can't even drink. I struggle to breathe while I'm listening to it. It's that intense. Got to concentrate. No, brilliant album. It's a monster, and like I say, one of the best UK thrash albums ever written, in my opinion.
Wow, that's high praise. I'm saying, I don't know it well enough still to rate it that highly. It's a good album. The one thing that did jump out when I was listening today is, and it's the only song that I thought I've got to look at the name of that song so I remember it for later. And it's that the last but one, Myth History. It's got some of the dodgiest backing vocals on that. It's just, I was like, whoa, who was that? Someone obviously, it sounds like someone came off the street and was maybe they've been on had some of that stuff you had last night, Scott, and they just went on their went on their end game. But yeah, listen to the backing vocals on that one, and don't want to spoil the song for anybody, but it kind of made me think like, what the fuck is?
Well, there's almost like the sort of operatic vocals going on the album as well, isn't there? It's a potpourri of sort of styles on there. You've got the talking bits and the narration bits and the screaming and the growling. Yeah, there's all sorts going on there. Make You Crash Your Car album.
It's an experience, the album.
It is, yeah.
A listening experience.
It's funny watching the comments already. There's a lot of love for Sabbat. People are getting ahead of themselves on things like Zentrix, calling that out. And so far, there's about 8 different albums that have popped up where people have said have got to be in the top 5. So we're going to piss a lot of people off today, which is kind of what we're here for. To say.
So is it Sabbat or is it Sabbat?
It depends on how much you had to drink, I think.
Is it murder or murder?
No, it's definitely murder.
Murder.
I don't know. Is it Sabbat? Yeah, I've always said Sabbat. Sabbat. How do you say it, Mike?
Loser.
Sabbat.
Sabbat.
Yeah. Sabbat.
Sabbat.
Sabbat. Aye.
As in. as in Sabbat.
Sabbat. Aye.
Sabbat. Aye.
Sabbat.
Aye. Mike, what are you? Next one. I've done the first 2.
Well, this album here, I always enjoyed. It's like my favourite album by this band. I know everyone jumps on the first one, and I'll be honest, I've never been a huge fan of the first album. And it was in the list the last time, and But for me, this is brilliant. When I put it on recently, I was like, yeah, this is definitely in my top 5. And it's The American Way, Sacred Reich.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't have said that this would make my top 5 second thrash albums, you know. But when I put it on, even that 31 flavors, I know it's just tongue-in-cheek shit, but it takes me right back to where the metal world was then, telling you to listen to Faith No More and Red Hot Chili Peppers and all that stuff. But the other 7 songs that are just out now, you know, mostly mid-pace thrash, but there is some speedier moments. You know, I just think it's fantastic, and I mean the song "Who's to Blame" is like that's worth the price of admission alone. I think it's awesome. I know everyone seems to gravitate towards Ignorant, and I was never a huge fan of that. It was always that for me, as far as a full album goes. Anybody else's thoughts on that?
Well, we never even showed. I thought we even showed Ignorance on the last.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody showed it. It's just that it didn't get in the 5.
Wasn't it me?
Yeah.
No, I always gravitate towards that one.
This one.
Yeah, I think it's a fucking brilliant album. Then the day I got that, the day I got that OG vinyl in my hand, I was like, oh, fucking yes. I don't do that with a lot of albums, but I was with that one.
I can remember when the video came out, The American Way. It was just like a white set, and then just them in black playing. It was dun 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 dun. This riff came in, and it was like, at the time, the club we used to go to as friends, and the dance floor we'd get up. It was thrash hour for the first time. You just get up and have a good headbang, and it was one of those songs that when it came on, everyone got up and had a proper good pissed up headbang to it. It was great. But again, for me, I prefer Ignorance. I think that's better because it's a bit faster. The sort of that era of thrash was leaning towards that sort of mid-paced style, and Sacred Reich knew that and picked up on it. You know what I mean? It was a massive album, huge album at the time. Probably one of the best thrash albums. You know, they toured the world off the back of it. But yeah, that 31 flavors, even that funk stuff that almost leaves a bit of a bitter taste in your mouth sometimes. It was the perfect album for that time. I think everything about it.
Yeah,
and it's just got so much nostalgia for me. That even if I'm listening to the heavier and faster stuff, I can still listen to that and enjoy it, you know. Howard?
hello, mate.
To the max.
We could have the Contact and Blood thrash.
Have we got our little screen, Andy, where we can see what we've got in the...
Well, I was going to wait till we did 5.
Oh, was you? Okay.
Yeah, because it's like we've only got 3 at the moment, and if people have forgotten already, then they're not really paying attention.
Okay.
And they deserve to know what we've had in here.
I'm gonna put mine in now. Throw my.
Do you not want to hear what I think about Sacred Reich?
Okay, go on.
I don't really know, to be honest. Honestly, they were a band that never. I've got the Surf Nicaragua EP and the Live at the Dynamo, and that kind of. I always kind of felt that was enough. So moving swiftly on.
I think you'd enjoy it, Andy.
Oh,
Yeah, you would.
Probably would, but there's so much out there to pick up and try.
Yeah.
So I'll stick it on the list, and who knows? If I see it, I'll grab it.
My first pick. I've got the T-shirt for it. Persecution Mania. Sodom. Maka. Not my first introduction to Sodom. Agent Orange was the first Sodom album I heard, but I went back to this, and this is as good as. I mean, Agent Orange is a great album. The earlier Sodom stuff was always a little bit. they've always had it throughout the career, that sort of punky Motorhead style, and they even do a cover of Iron Fist on this. But this has got it's got everything a thrash album needs. It's got the fast moments. It's got the real sort of epic songs on there. Great lead guitar, barking vocals. It goes from fast parts in the songs to those brilliant sort of head-banging breakdowns, that the sort of mosh pit moments, if you will. And again, it was one of those I'd sort of heard back in the day that Agent Orange was their sort of first proper thrash album, and I mistakenly always sort of thought this was maybe going to be a bit too punky, because punk's never been my thing really. But when I went back to this, I was so pleasantly surprised. It's a brilliant record. And how was it you say it? Bombenhagel. Do you remember what that means, lads? After your German lessons. We're shit, aren't we? We're so shit. Sorry, Jürgen.
Yeah.
But yeah, great album. I think that's deserves to be in the top 5 for now.
I had that on a couple of times this week, and if it had been a top 10, I would have probably put it in there. But I've been really strict with my top 5, so
you've got to be, haven't you? You've got it's yeah.
I mean, for me though, like when I first heard the Sodom, it was Agent Orange. That's what everyone spoke about, and it's now my new nickname from Mike. But I went back and listened to it, and to be honest, it is a fantastic album. Like almost like you described it. It's an all rounder, I would say. In my opinion, it's got a good balance of everything. I think the vocals are excellent. Like you say, because before I'd even heard it, I thought it was going to be really raw. I thought, because it's like one of the first couple of albums, I thought it's going to be like one of those really raw, kind of like Endless Pain kind of direction. But it's not. It's like got really great production on it. It's like I say, it's just like an all-round great thrash album. I would probably try and keep it in the top 5 for now. Like,
That's definitely it for now.
Well, no, I mean try and keep it there. Hey, it's harder to stay there than to get there.
Andy,
I own more Sacred Reich than I do Sodom. I'm woefully my collection is woefully short on classic German thrash, and I don't know Sodom that well, I have to say. It's just never really dipped my toes in, so I'm not really able to contribute on this one.
Well, I hope you're jotting all these down, Andy. Let it be a lesson to you.
Get them on the Amazon wish list.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be higher up than Kreator, no doubt. So,
so this is going to work out that Andy's going to have 2 in the top 5. Selfish.
Yeah, but he does have the IQ, so
well, we can't deny him that, can we?
I have an IQ.
Yeah,
an IQ.
I have an IQ.
I am gonna go with. Let's have a look.
I'm just going to go for the pensioner piss.
Well, is that a thing? Just on the commode.
I was going to say, I thought pencil piss was in your pants.
Yeah, I was going to. Just let your eyes roll back and enjoy it.
Just force your hips into the chair.
Oh, don't! I'm getting flashbacks.
He's got a wipe dry chair anyway, so what would it matter? Look at that.
Exactly.
It's not going to absorb into that chair, is it?
He could just take it outside and just tip it up, couldn't he? Leave it out in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Be all right.
Need a catheter for these kind of things.
I can't believe we've only got half an hour in and he's had to go for a piss.
I know that is bad part.
That's awful. Awful.
I drink more than you, tarts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you're bigger.
Is he? Oh, sorry. I thought you were actually having a piss in your living room. Then you just went off camera for.
I'll do it in my pants before the night's out.
Not
Well,
again.
we were just saying you've got a nice white, clean chair there, so don't worry too much.
Yeah.
Are we ready then? Are you all right?
Go for
Yes.
Yeah.
Go on then, son. Let's have a way look.
Do you need a hot chocolate or something before we go on? Are you all right? I am. Spilling the beer. I'm going a little bit more well known this time around after none of you tarts knew Onslaught. So I'm sure you all know this one. Obviously, as soon as you mention this album, you have to mention it's the first album that Jason Newsted wasn't on after he left to join Metallica. That's a obligatory comment. If you didn't know that already, chaps. This is
Where
one
did
that
he
I
go
actually...
to?
What was that?
So where did Jason Newsted go to after that?
I don't know.
Well, the last time he was heard was in Voivod.
Actually, have you heard his self-titled band, Newsted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that good. It's a bit generic. Anyway, No Place for Disgrace. This is an album that actually went up in my estimations again after hearing it, because I'm a massive Doomsday for the Deceiver. But Flotsam and Jetsam as a whole, just the first two albums for me. I don't really need anything after that. But apart from Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, this is absolutely fantastic album. Obviously, No Place for Disgrace. What a way to kick off the album. Dreams of Death. I'm probably going to read them all out, except Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. But I think Eric AK's vocals on here are absolutely superb. The high notes he goes is probably the closest anybody will get to Joey Belladonna in terms of being able to do that in thrash metal, but do it well. So that's my second pick. No Place for Disgrace. Sorry, translate that for you, Scott.
No Place for Disgrace.
No Place for Disgrace.
Amazing. Yeah, one of my favourite Flotsam albums, one of my favourite thrash albums, although when I listened to it in the midst of all these other albums, I didn't enjoy it as much as I usually do.
No.
Honestly. I don't know, like I said at the start, I've not been in a massive I've not been really in a thrash mood. So when I put it on, I don't know, I got a bit bored with it. And I know that's kind of like, that could be blasphemy, but I mean, it's not one of those albums I think is crap, because it's not. It's a really good album, but I'm just saying when I listened to it this week, I wasn't really in the mood for it. So it's not one of those albums that can lift my mood if I'm not in the mood, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Eric AK is always, he's got an amazing voice. Really suits the music. And it's a great album. I mean, those two first Flotsam albums are tremendous.
It's in my top 5 thrash albums of all time ever. I just love that album. Again, we were saying about Sodom. It's an all rounder. It's got the heaviness. It's got the epic songs. It's got the acoustic moments. Eric AK's vocals are like, you talk about vocals and the range, and he's right up there. It's got everything. And even Saturday Night for Fighting. And I noticed actually when I was doing part of this research, how many second albums have got cover versions on them.
Yeah, I know.
Quite bizarre. But it's an odd cover version.
And terrible cover versions as well. I could hardly pick a good cover version on a Thrash
Yeah,
album.
yeah. I don't quite know why. Maybe that was just the thing that was going on back then. But I can listen to that album front to back every time. I just love it. I love the way it kicks in. Dreams of Death. Dun, 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 dun. One of the best riffs in thrash metal history, as far as I'm concerned. I love it. I can't talk highly enough of it, and I'm going to fight for that bastard to stay in the top 5.
It's going to be hard with this, I think.
I know.
As much as we said that some of these second albums aren't as strong as the first, I think this is going to be a tough fight to come to a consensus about what should be our top 5, because it's not going to guarantee it's not going to match any of our individual top 5s.
No.
Well, I will have heard it once or twice because a couple of my mates owned it back in the day, but it's not an album I've ever owned, and it likely didn't grab me when I did hear it because I've never bothered to pick it up. I've got Doomsday, but never ever got that one. I couldn't name you a song apart from that cover version on it. It's just
not even the title track.
No, I couldn't. I don't even know what that's called. I just, to be honest, they were just like I don't know. They were just sort of pounded into submission by everyone else back in the 80s for me, and I was just and I kind of didn't like the name, if I'm honest. I was like, it's a bit clunky for me to keep saying that. I'd rather say
I can't believe you're going
What's a Jetsam? Aye.
I can't believe you're going to dismiss them because it's too clunky to say. But
I can't believe that you wouldn't believe that of me.
Yeah, that's Mike all over.
Yeah,
correct.
Good evening.
Right, so let's say
hello to the
top 5 then.
I'm quite shocked actually that Mike. You know, I would have thought Mike would know that. You know, with knowing Doomsday and enjoying Doomsday.
Yeah,
and
yeah, but I don't know.
It's a massive one for me. I'm quite surprised, but that's the beauty of these streams, isn't it? We find these things out.
I mean, plus it's what the fuck's going on here? All right, it's
practice.
It hasn't been like readily available to me either. You know,
yeah.
I fucking need him, don't I? I need him.
That's not a clunky fucking title.
Maybe gay bikers on acid. Aye.
Do you realise that they used to have an alternative name so they could play it twice, and they got dressed up as women in skirts and stuff, pretending to be the support act, and called themselves lesbian dope heads on mopeds.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. But Flotsam and Jetsam too fucking.
No, I can't. I don't know it. I've never owned it.
Get that on your Amazon want list. They did they re-recorded it later on about, I'm sure it was like the 20th or 25th anniversary of it, and they re-recorded it. And it's not good at all. It doesn't sound anything. They've slowed it right down. Eric's vocals don't get to those soaring heights of that. You know, it's not a good re-recording.
So that's the first 5. Hope this should work now. So any other album now that we showcase, we have to decide whether we knock one of these out, so to speak, or
fucking hell.
Or we keep this 5, and these aren't in any order at the moment. Obviously, we're not going to rank until we end up with the top 5 in total.
I think we need the chat's support on this for each time somebody shows them. We need a bit of consensus in the chat. Because I need some help here now. I'm looking at Jürgen here, definitely. I'm looking at Mark, probably Scott. And what I need you to do is don't judge this when I show it. And don't get hung up on one particular word, because you know Or is it Scott's turn?
No, you just fucking jump in front.
No.
Just fucking sit and listen to you.
No, you're going to leave us on that knife edge now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell.
Ah,
You're
Get
building
fuck him.
Yeah.
Back to the Agent Orange.
up- then you-
Fuck's sake. It's like King Diamond all over again.
Jim Diamond.
Jim
yeah.
Diamond, sorry. Right, what am I going to pick then? I mean, it's not going to have the amazing intro that one just had, but let's see. I'm just going to flip through my stack here. Not that one.
Thriller.
Not that one. Nah. What about this one? Right. This is the second album from this band.
Yeah.
Fucking is it? Annihilator, Neverland. And you know what? After we did the first video and we listened to Alice in Hell, I thought I always kind of thought this was my favourite from Annihilator. And then when I listened to Alice in Hell, I thought, do you know what? I think Alice in Hell is my favourite. But then I listened to this week for this, and this is back to being my favourite again because it's fucking awesome. Obviously, the first album with, is it Coburn Farr on vocals?
Yeah.
He sounds phenomenal. Even the first track is one of my favourites, the Fun Palace. That's it's got those elements of Alice in Hell where Jeff Waters does that, he does all that,
Yeah, I like it when he does that.
and yeah, I mean front to back, it's a great album. Let's
Von
pick a
Doom.
few more songs. Sixes and Sevens. Sixes and Sevens is a great song as well. Road to Ruin, brilliant. Craft Dinner, but amazing. And I think this has to knock a band off the top 5. Like I said, it's reaffirmed my my likeness for it because it's just amazing, and it's one of those albums that I've heard lots of times, but I enjoyed it just as much as I usually do. So
I couldn't agree with everything that you've just said anymore. I was the same. I've always liked that album, but I always thought Alice in Hell was my favourite. And when I put this on and listened to it for the research, I was just like, fucking hell. What? It's brilliant.
mm-hmm.
It's I listened to it, it put me in a proper good mood. Coburn Farr's vocals sound great. Jeff Waters is just on fire on it. It's just riff after riff. It's almost got a little bit of a traditional heavy metal edge to it, in some of those sing-along sort of choruses. But it's well recorded. It just sounds great. Do you know what it did? It made me, as I listened to it, made me put my foot up on my settee and play the air guitar. I'm 40. I'm 49, and I thought I was like the old Steve Harris with my foot on the monitor.
Right, you can get your leg up that high, mate, at your age. That's impressive.
Well, but yeah, brilliant. And I never even thought it would get near my top 10. But listening to it, and I play it on, and again, and in all the albums I listened to in this research, that's the one that I played the most. Because I thought, fuck. Why have I not played that more? I've just dismissed it because of Alice in Hell. Oh, it's a brilliant album. Brilliant. Good call, Scott.
Saying that comment there, too bad Waters didn't keep that singer. He hasn't kept any of his bandmates, has he?
No.
It's a constant revolving door with old Jeff. I'm totally on board with all those comments. I was a complete Alice in Hell all the way. And I only picked this up a couple of years ago. I've heard a few songs, but never really given it the time. And straight away, blown away. Now, all those songs you mentioned, Scott, fully endorsed, but Phantasmagoria in Hell is awesome. I Am in Command as well, that final song, kill away to end the album. So, yeah, definitely a monster of an album, and
No, I'm not going down
It
with that.
went under the radar for
Oh,
me.
fucking here he comes. Here.
Here they come. I'm telling you now, right? I've owned that album for a few years and never played it. I was on the phone to Macca yesterday, and I was, I asked him what would be in his top 5, and he said that album, and I said, I think I played it when I first bought it, and that was it. So I put it on, and I listened to it, and musically, I'm right with you. It's absolutely fantastic. Jeff Waters is great. But the fucking vocals are as generic as fuck. It's just absolute standard rock voice. It's fucking shit. No wonder they didn't keep in. It can sing. I'm not saying it can't sing, but it's so fucking bland. Who's texting me?
Fucking hell. Don't text Mike when he's having a moment, will you? Come on.
Fucking bastards. His voice is just, yes, it's good, but it's just like, it's such a generic voice. It's nothing interesting. It doesn't add anything to the music, and the music is worth a better singer.
Do you reckon if Randy Rampage would have stayed with them and sang on that, that would make it a better album?
Yeah.
I always loved Randy Rampage's voice. Yeah.
I always loved the
I just think it hasn't got a foot in any camp, and it's kind of, it detracts from the music. I knew I could hear the music right away. I thought, I mean, everyone knows Jeff Waters is a fucking legend on guitar, and I thought, this is really good, but Lado's singing's killing it for me, and I didn't get to the end of it. I thought, fuck that. That's just like, it's almost like fucking Eddie Vedder for me. Just shitty generic singing in tune. Bollocks.
Oh, for fuck's
That
sake.
can't possibly beat the American win.
Just shut up and tell us exactly
Listen,
what you think.
You just got upset because Darcy said that, didn't you? Now you got on a rant and you're all upset because one of your best mates said they didn't like your album.
He's not one of my best.
Not anymore.
No, it was late. He can fuck off.
Right, let's knock something off then.
Right. So,
Am I getting in? Hang on. Am I getting any support there?
No.
No, not from us anyway.
Seriously? Fucking hell.
What's right, boys? So, which one of those 5 beauties? I mean, I know which one that I would.
I know which one I'm going for.
should we all pick one and then
Onslaught.
let's see.
We'll not do it in any order then. That was an onslaught.
Yeah, my pick would be Onslaught to go as well.
Well, I'm just gonna
Jump on
buckle under the peer pressure and go for onslaught then.
Yeah. Do you know what? And I'm not even going to complain that highly because I knew that wouldn't have been. It's not even been in my top 5. It's just one of the albums that showing today. So I'll replace that one in a sec when we're can't do it live on air because it's doesn't work that way. But
Okay, so onslaught is gone.
That will be in there next. Yeah.
Am I not getting any support for Lado's generic voice at all?
No, it doesn't matter.
it's fine.
We all think it's fucking brilliant, Mike.
It don't matter how many times you say it. No.
Losers.
Hey, but listen, Mike, it's your turn now.
Oh yeah.
So
Right.
give us that speech again.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't want you to cling to the word that I'll use in this at some point because it was a long time ago. It's 30-year-old this album, and a lot of people don't know it, and then they get in their minds, oh, but I'm not really into that sort of stuff, and neither am I. Neither's any fucker in the VC either. Who listens to funk metal? No cunt. But this is fucking a 10 out of 10. Forget just because it's got a bit of funk in there. Forget it. It's got way more thrash than funk. It's a 10 out of 10 album. He's knocked me off. Oh, no, that is a 10 out of 10 album. I put that on through the week. I always knew it would be in my top 5, but I just couldn't believe how strong it was when I listened to it there is not even anything close to being a Duff track on it, and just because it's got funk elements, and people will be like, "Oh, I'm not into all that," I'm fucking not into it either. But
Peter hates it.
Yeah.
And I did try to tell you like it was going on vinyl the other day for very cheap, but Andy didn't buy it.
I got it, so
I didn't buy it because I bought the first album based on your recommendation, and it didn't blow me away. So I've not bothered listening to any of the Mordred.
Oh well, you're mental because that first one's just brilliant.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It was all right.
I think that Mordred album is very much like the American way for me. It's I've listened to it and it's very of the time. And if you were around at that time and you were into that, it's a brilliant album. And I agree with Mike. There's definitely more thrash than there is funk. And I think everyone gets caught up on the whole funk thing.
Yes, exactly.
With Mordred. But the thrashy moments that they do overpower all those funk moments. If that's not what you're into, and I get some people aren't, but when they went balls out thrash, they were a great band, really good. It wouldn't be honest, it wouldn't make my top 5, but I appreciate that album.
What would be a close comparison with Mordred? Ignorance, probably. And they would like the support band for the Mordred tour.
I think
they're a UK band.
They had that.
No, Phil's game was more thrashy, but not better.
Like Slammer had that really. If people watching, if they know Slammer, the English band, a very precise, sort of tight thrash sound. That's what Mordred had. Really clean sort of guitar sound and very, very. You could tell musically they were very proficient.
Yeah.
But then they added those sort of funk elements, but not like
it's not overpowering though.
Not 60s soul funk or anything like that. No, it was what was prevalent in that style.
It's like skater funk.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
It's I mean, I love the first two. I mean, is it Fool's Game? Is the debut? That's a fucking great album. And yeah, I think I picked those two up in a matter of weeks between each other. And I like them both. I don't know if I know them both enough to say one was better. I mean, I would probably lean towards the debut, to be honest, if I was to pick one. But those two albums are great. Don't know if it would make the top 5, but definitely a great album.
But in this life, show always been like a top a 10 out of 10 for me. Like I got it in the first couple of days of it coming out, and I was already huge on Mordred by then anyway. So
so you were kind of with it when in your younger days, eh?
I wouldn't entertain them now. I think they're completely irrelevant now. After, I mean, even the third album's absolute shit. They have a mini album. They have a mini album Vision after that, which goes down the funk route even more, which I still enjoy, but that's where I jump off. After that, I think that the shit.
Yeah, they had an album out. They've got an album out this year.
Yeah, it's a fucking headache. They've no idea. They don't really know what to do. They're not into it. You see, they're not into metal, so they don't really know. They were just kind of they got lucky back in the day, but they're not metal fans, so they're a bit like, oh, I don't know, what do we do? We've been out.
They never looked like a metal band though. They never dressed like a metal band, did they?
No, but I mean, I know from talking to them, they're not metal fans.
Yeah, they look.
Bit of AC/DC.
God, well, I hate them already then.
Fucking right.
Yeah. The thing is, it's something you mentioned there before, Mike, about it's almost like a lot of these albums I've picked out here. I know going into here that I love them, but I know they're not going to make a top 5 because part of it is just like that emotional connection you have. You love the first album, you got the second album, or in some cases, the second album was the first album I heard by that band, and I ended up going back and even going forward in some cases if it wasn't new. But always maybe that second album was the one that stuck with me because it was my introduction to them. So they may not be considered absolute classics, but to me, they're just they're big parts of my life and big parts of my collection.
Right.
So
some of these albums I'm going to show. I've kind of picked some.
Tell you what, before you dive in,
we need to see what we're doing with Mordred.
Yeah.
I think Mordred's just not going to go anywhere, is it?
I've not heard that Mordred album, but I'm not a Mordred fan really. So to me, it wouldn't bump anything out.
I just love the fact that you put Alice in Hell, Neverland. That's just.
I never even noticed that.
Two brilliant albums.
Do you know what? This is only going to get worse the more I drink. So have at it.
It does start with a capital A, so that's off to you there.
Maybe subconsciously I couldn't spell Annihilator, even though it's
Alice
written
and
down.
Annihilator.
Yeah, Alice and Annihilator.
I wouldn't budge anything just now.
No, personally, I wouldn't.
That is insane.
Which one would you do, Mike?
No one in the comments is backing me up either.
No, let's have a look. Let's have a look. No, Jürgen's a big fan. I popped his comment up before.
Hey, I'm a big fan of I love the album, but I just like those ones better.
And I love the album too. I do enjoy it, but it's not better than any of those ones on show there.
No.
That's what this is about. Sorry,
not that it really matters, Mike, but which one would you have bumped off?
Alice in Hell, Neverland.
What about Annihilator, Neverland?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
All right.
And Alice in Hell, if you wanted to put that up there as well.
I'll go and sack the IT guy. Mark, over to you.
Okay, so some of these that I've picked here, they're just the good albums that I enjoy. Whether I think they're going to be in the top 5, that isn't the case. I've kind of got my top 5, but like we said earlier, you don't want to shoot your load too early, do you? So I'm just going to show you some good ones.
Not tonight, Josephine.
And this one, this is right up there for me, right up there. The second Overkill, Taking Over. This wasn't my introduction to Overkill. Under the Influence was my intro to them, but I do remember hearing In Union We Stand. I don't understand. Mine's got like the purple logo on that. It's always been a bit.
Yours looks like a bootleg, Mark.
Mine's the Noise Records release version.
So is mine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did you get yours off a market, Mark?
I'll have to check that. I'll have to check that on. Yeah, Discogs.
Is yours from Russia?
eBay Marketplace.
Because I've never seen that kind of.
I reckon it's rarer. Yeah, In Union We Stand. And at the time, I didn't when I heard that song, I wasn't even sure that was like a thrash metal band. There's definitely. We talked about with the first album, didn't we? Said how much that traditional heavy metal style it's got. But the guitar, Bobby Blitz sounds awesome on this album. His voice is just right up there. It's the best lineup of Overkill for me. But it's just a great album. Great riffs, great sing-along choruses. D.D. Verney's sort of popping bass. I love it. It's a great album.
I would have to agree. I mean, I'm actually just looking through the track listing now. Deny the Cross, Wrecking Crew, Power Surge, Electro Violence.
You can almost sing along to them all, can't you?
They are awesome tracks. So, yeah, I mean, I love this. And I love I love Bobby Blitz's voice in this kind of stage of Overkill. Because he's not got that screech yet. He's still got that kind of he's almost got like a kind of Bruce Dickinson voice. That kind of I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying it's operatic, but he has got those kind of Bruce Dickinson kind of tendencies to do that kind of. You like that?
Yeah.
But I think it's absolutely awesome. I love this album, so I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I do as well. It's kind of like a power metal album and a punk album. It sort of sits either side of thrash, doesn't it? But somehow it's also thrashy. It's awesome. It's actually, that's one of the ones that when I listened to this week, I haven't listened to that for a year, and
Thanks, Jim.
I enjoyed it a lot more than I remembered the last time I played it. So I'll probably play that some more now. It is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great album. I don't actually own that one yet. Well, I do. I've pre-ordered it, part of the Overkill box set, which has been delayed.
Delayed
until 3rd of December.
March apparently.
So, yes, 3rd of December if you're in the UK, 12th of March if you're in the rest in the US, and you use a stupid date format. I'm really looking forward to finally getting it on vinyl and that reissue. I hope it sounds fantastic. But great album. Overkill wasn't a band that I just knew much of back in the 80s, and one that I've picked up anything that I can find recently. I've a lot of the newer albums on vinyl, but obviously the earlier ones are a bastard to get hold of for a decent price unless you get a reissue.
All hail the box set then.
Absolutely, especially when you get it for free almost.
That's always a bonus, isn't it? Yeah.
That's the most ludicrous sale of the year. That.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll share that on the 3rd of December. That story.
Yeah.
Just give it another hour. Give it another hour, Mike's, and a few more wines. I reckon he could spoil it for you.
What an arsehole. What an accurate arsehole you are.
Yeah.
Right, so Overkill.
Now
oh no, here we go.
Well, I would shove any of them out apart from Sacred Reich.
Oh man.
Now, for me, I've already said that I don't know the American way. I don't know Persecution Mania. So one of those would have to go for me if I was coming up with the top 5 of ones I liked. Not saying the others aren't good. I just don't know them well enough.
Yeah.
I would have to go with Sodom.
Yeah, we know what Mike's going to pick out of there, don't we? We know what he's going to get rid of. Oh, fucking hell. I'm gonna have to say.
Fuck off, Geller. You're just trying to wind me up.
Do you know, out of those, I think I'd pick Sacred Reich.
Fuck off. You're just saying that.
But
this is like Eurovision strategic voting.
Yeah, you're the UK.
Nil point.
We're all Scandinavian countries.
You cunts, I know that.
Oh, that's fucking obvious.
What's everyone's pick here? What Scott's gone for Sodom?
I'm going to go for Sodom.
Well, I'll go for Sodom then. 2-0.
Hold on. Is this real now? Is this just?
No, I actually don't care. As long as Sacred Reich stays, I don't care what else goes. I would take that Overkill album over all the rest.
Okay.
Andy, what are you going for?
That's quite fair of me, that really.
Yeah.
Well, my would be to say Sacred Reich or Sodom because I don't know those albums well enough to
pick one.
And I love Overkill.
You got to pick one.
Sodom.
Yes.
We knew that. We knew that was happening. We knew that was going on, didn't we?
Okay then. Sodom's
Okay.
gone.
Okay.
Bye.
Do you want to go and change your shirt?
No. In fact, I'm not even showing my face on camera anymore now. I'm just going to be like that for the rest of this now, just so nobody forgets it.
Right. I'm wondering what to pick next. What should we go for next? Right. I don't know if this is. I think I mentioned it to you guys earlier in the week about whether this really is a second album or it's just an EP. But Nuclear Assault Survive. And I've got a bit of a dilemma because I call this the second album.
That's
This EP. But
that's
there's
not Survive, is it?
I've got
Also
another
the
album.
plague.
That's the Plague.
The Plague. Anyway, yes. Nuclear Assault second album.
Survive.
Have I got? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Survive is the full album, isn't it? Plague is the
Yeah.
I can't be asked fetching mine up, but I've got
confused now. So I've called this the second release because I've always thought of it the second release. But then again, I've got examples of albums in here where I've picked the second album that have had an EP in between, and I don't class that as the second release. So, is this the second release, or is it in fact Survive? What do you guys reckon?
As far as an album goes, Survive's the second album. That's just a mini
I
album.
would say Survive.
Let's chuck that one away and go for another one then, shall we?
Yeah, fucked it already.
Why did you just say that when I asked the question in the week then?
Because
you said
you didn't say what you were talking about, even though I had an idea what you were talking about.
I think it was the same scenario with Sacred Reich, wasn't it? Because they brought out Surf Nicaragua. And
anyway, I was going to choose Virus.
To make a fool of himself. Come on.
All along. That was really good with my pick. I was just joking with that one, you bastards. More UK thrash. The probably the only other UK thrash band other than Onslaught that actually got a bit of cash behind them, and second album where they actually had a bit of proper production behind them. They were on. What was the record? This was on a Metalworks release. I listened to this today, first time in ages, and it's really good. I saw these. It's a shadow. I think it's just Coke. McFinley is the only guy that's left at the moment. But I saw them do the 30th anniversary tour of this. It's a solid thrash album. It's no way my top 5, but I think it's definitely worth an honorary mention within this group here, and certainly for anybody that hasn't heard any Virus, I would recommend diving into this one first. Testify to Me, Force Recon, Hungry for Blood is we're talking about heavy, thrash metal covers. It's not really a cover, but it's like a rework of the Munsters theme tune. And, I like it. So
there's a new Munsters coming out,
but that's not the best thing on the album, obviously. Definitely Testify to Me is the song to check out. So I don't think this will knock anything off the top 5, but definitely an honorary mention. But some more UK full-on thrash metal. It's not none of the sort of. They weren't really one of these bands that sort of did the jokey element, other than maybe that Hungry for Blood track was a slightly humorous.
It's a good album. It's a good album. It's I think is it their third album, Lunacy? Is that what it's called, Lunacy? That's more sort of polished thrash, but that album's great. It's dead. It's really raw, in your face, full of attitude, thrash metal, and it's like holds no prisoners. Great album. Just that.
I don't know them at all.
I know you'd probably like it, to be honest with you. It is pretty much full on thrash. It's not your typical. A lot of UK thrash was either copying the Bay Area or bands that used to be punk bands. So they've kind of got that more punky attitude to them, whereas Virus were they sounded more like a serious thrash band that could have done something, but obviously they had a bit of money behind them from their label, but nothing like the US bands had.
I've never heard any Virus either, so I am not going to comment.
But some of these are just, I think I'm just showing because I like them and I want other people to experience them as well.
Exactly, that's what this is all about, isn't it? It's getting them in there and putting it. It's not just all about that. It's just exposing a few bands as well to people that they might not know of.
I got quite a few more left field ones, so we'll trickle them in. So is it even? It's probably not even worth checking up the list, but there we go. Anyway, I don't think I would replace any of these, even though I've mentioned that I've not. I haven't updated it, have I, from the last one? Jesus!
Oh, for goodness' sake!
Can't get the staff. Can't get the staff.
Just put Sodom Overkill. That'll do.
Sodom Overkill. So, Scott.
What's Scott going to show next? It's a Hamlet moment.
I'm going to go with, and this is one of the albums that really kind of surprised me when I was going through these, because I mean, I listened to it multiple times before, but in the setting of just a week of thrash, this really stuck out, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I always thought it was a good album, but I enjoyed it a lot more this time around for some reason than I have before, and it's Exhumer, Rising from the Sea. This was just awesome, start to finish, to be honest. And like I said, I always thought it was good, but I mean, this was just like it was almost like Persecution Mania for me. It's just like it's a fantastic, all round, great thrash album. Just awesome vocals, killer riffs, amazing production. I really, really enjoyed this. Probably, I might not expect this to see the top 5, but definitely worth a mention because it is really superb. So, Exhumer, Rising from the Sea. What do you think?
Great band. I would have had that one in my stack to show, but that's probably the one Exhumer album I don't actually own. I know it though. I've listened to it online a number of times because I have the rest of the stuff and checked it out previously just to make sure that when I do see it, I want to grab it, and I want to grab it. I've got all the others around it, first one and the third one, but unfortunately I don't have that one yet. But yeah, really, really good album.
I'm not into it, to be honest. It's reminiscent of early Slayer, and I don't like early Slayer either. And I tell you what, sorry to interrupt you, but I tell you what, that album is like the album that Hell Awaits wanted to be, I reckon. That's my to me, the riffs are all like Death Angels, Road Mutant. It's all like jigga 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 jigga, and then when they do a little tail, they sort of go diddle-lille, diddle-lille. It's like up and then back down, and then jigga 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 jigga. Everything's based off that formula on that album, to be honest. And like the whole sort of early Slayer, like Hell Awaits. I didn't even listen to that for this because that's just fucking not anything that I would ever, have in the top 5. And Exhumer is just like a worse version of that to me. But I'm probably on my own.
Later, Paul. I don't know why, and still to this day, why certain bands just completely fly by me, or and Exhumer's one of those bands. I've never heard that album. The only time I've sort of become more aware of them, I'd heard of them, but I've only really become more aware of how well they're thought of since I joined the VC. Before that, it was same with Accuser, you know, and sort of Jürgen when he was talking about a show. I just thought these bands are like revered. They're obviously huge bands, and I've just never heard of them. I've heard of them, but just never heard them for some reason. And Exhumer's one of them. And I need to get on the case because I do.
You do.
I completely agree because the likes of I mean, we talked about Sodom already, and they're probably a bigger band than Exhumer, but I have pretty much the full Exhumer catalogue and nothing by Sodom.
Yeah, just some bands just whiz by you, don't they? Strange.
The last two Exhumer albums are fucking superb.
They are
really, really good.
Well, and it's easy to catch up on their discography. They've only got 4 albums.
Yeah, that's a bonus. Yeah.
2 old ones and 2 new ones, and honestly, they're all. I mean, obviously, there's a massive difference between the first 2, because the first 2, the production on it is amazing, because it's that raw production. It's not this like when you listen to the later 2. Obviously, it's really modern production, but the songs are amazing. But when you go back to like the likes of Rising from the Sea, it's just got 80s thrash just like thread through it. Do you know what I mean? It's that production you'd expect, and that definitely adds to the album.
Yeah,
I just enjoy it far more.
I need to get onto them. I need to. I remember when you showed their new album that you picked off of Amazon. I think you said for about 9 or 10 quid. And I was like, I need to get on it. And I went on Amazon. And it was about 30 quid. And I thought, bastard. That was like that. Yeah, missed it. So they're definitely on my list. I'll keep my eye out for them for sure.
Yeah, I've still got. I've had the new one pretty much since it came out. It's still in my inbox because I've not even shown that on an update yet because I'm still listening to it. It's not ready to go back on the or up on the shelves. So I'll give some additional thoughts on that in videos to come. No doubt. Has he gone for a piss again?
And just for Daniel, I'll go Exhumer.
Yeah, you know he's just gonna replay that over and over again. That bit he's just gonna put a bookmark and just replay it.
Make it your ringtone.
What?
Exhumer. Hello. Okay, so we need to put. Is that gonna?
Simon from Explosive Action said that would replace the American way for him.
Yeah, that's what he said.
But he's Australian.
What he said was,
he
didn't say replace it.
There you go. Mike, read that.
What do you two boys up there who know more about Exhumer? Mike doesn't like him, so we know what his choice will be.
I'm trying to think what's the list again? Oh yeah,
it's coming. There's buttons to click.
It's coming. Yeah,
and they stop moving the longer the light goes on.
There we go.
You see, for me, from that list, based purely on what I know, it would be Sacred Reich.
Oh.
But I've not heard that Exhumer album, though. I mean, well, I don't own it. I've heard it, but I've not heard the American Way. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in that top 5. If you guys think Sacred Reich is a better album, I'm not that attached to Exhumer that if it wasn't in the top 5, that I would be disappointed.
I can't comment because I don't know that album at all.
You'll have to.
Well, I can't. If I've not heard it, I can't take any of those.
Well, that
out
means
there.
he's not going to put it in the top 5.
Yeah, those 5 there. I'm not.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh no, so it's down to me. I could ruin Mike's hopes and dreams here.
It's got to be a consensus. So Mark's a no, it's not the top 5.
I thought you said Sacred Reich.
Well, yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah. But what I'm going to do, to be honest, it's all about honesty.
Bastards all sticking together.
It's not as good as the American Way, so I'm not going to put it in the top 5.
Okay, there you go.
Take it back.
And that's me being honest.
Yeah. Thanks, Sean. Yeah.
There you
we
go.
We're staying where we are.
We're staying where we are. Okay, let's go back to our beautiful faces. There we go.
I've just put my leg up there to stretch my legs, and I've given away my Star Wars PJ bottoms.
Yes.
Sodom top half, fleecy Star Wars PJ's bottom. I shouldn't have given
Right.
that away.
Are we? Whose go is it?
Yours.
It's yours.
You can do your full speech, and no one will interrupt you unless you're talking shite.
Again.
When I thought about this, was the second album I knew would be here for me, and when I listened to it, it's been padded out with a few instrumentals, but doesn't make it any less fantastic. The full songs that are there, and when I put it on, I based a lot of these on sitting in the music room, cranking the album up. How excited did it get me? This actually got me fucking the most excited out of everything, even my number one album, which this isn't. It got me more excited than that. It's just no fucking wonder these lot were my, favourite band for years. They're fucking dynamite. And that, even though, they pad you out a bit with that musical death. A Day of Reckoning's quite weak compared to the rest of the album. But, everything else, Into the Pit, The Preacher, Disciples, and all that, fucking just tremendous. Not quite up there with the debut, but that's really down to the fact that there isn't as much music on offer here. If there was, it could be as good. Fucking tremendous. Got to be a top 5, that.
I agree. That's got to be somewhere in the top 5 because it's fucking superb. This is, I would say, my opinion did kind of waver a bit. It always kind of wavers between the debut and the New Order, but I think if I had to pick one, this would be my favourite Testament album. Eerie Inhabitants, The New Order, Trial by Fire, Into the Pit. Those first 4 songs are just fucking insane. Like you say, Disciples of the Watch, brilliant. That's definitely got to be a contender. That has got to be there. Amazing. I love it.
Andy,
have you said your bit, Mark? Because I'm
no.
going. Go on, you
No.
go, because I'm reading through comments and checking them out.
But I don't even know if I've got words. I might just get me dick out.
I
hope you can find the words.
Find the fucking words.
Words might be easier to find than
We'll have to fucking zoom in.
But,
Yeah, in my PJs, you're quite right.
Got me +2s on.
Yeah. Look at that wee Blackpool picker.
I agree with Scott. That
have you got it out yet? I can't see. What?
No.
All right.
No. I'll keep it away. Promise you. It's my favourite Testament album. The Legacy is a classic. Don't get me wrong, but the New Order is just something else. What a fucking album! It's got everything. Even those little bits that Mike was saying, like pad it out. I just love them. There's nothing. It's like it's the perfect thrash album for me. It really is. It's got everything. The vote, everything about it. It made talking about putting my foot up on the setting and the air guitar. When I put this album
get your
on,
dick out. Just don't go there.
when I put this album on and Trial by Fire started, I did that little like Indian spinning dance that Chuck Billy does in the video. I did that in my living room. Yeah.
Can you do it now for us?
No, not with my Star Wars PJs on. No. Yeah, it don't get any better than that for me. Simple as. It's just absolutely awesome.
I'm not sure what I can add to that, because to me, I think it's probably it's easily a top 5 contender.
And we have to remind the
It's not even,
viewers.
it's not even my favorite.
Sorry, we have to remind the viewers that the debut topped the list in the last video.
Oh, it wouldn't top this video for me.
Does for me. You see, that's it. It's right up there.
That's where you're wrong, Mark.
Yeah, you
Because
button
it's
it.
not the best.
And they're nearly right. Me and you know what's number 1, but they're very nearly right, aren't they?
Yeah,
I mean,
think, but there's nothing wrong with being a number 2, and I don't mean that in any
and I know which album you two. I know which one you put, and you know you're wrong. It's funny how we're all wrong, isn't it? Strange.
Yeah, but some of you are more wrong than others.
But the thing is, all 3 of you are wrong. So
no, I mean, Testament are even above bands that are like more like Anthrax. They're actually just, I don't know, the more, I might like Anthrax more than Testament, but Testament are to me the definitive thrash band.
They barely put a foot wrong, although they maybe have put maybe one.
Those first 2 albums,
3. 4.
As Darcy puts it, thrash to pieces, aren't they?
I mean, if we do a part 3, Practice is fucking kicking every cunt's ass, isn't it?
Well, there's no point doing it then, is there?
Yeah, hold on, Mike.
yeah, let's not fucking jump ahead.
Spoiler alert.
Till next May.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
Thanks,
we've been talking about the Testament album. Why don't you practice what you preach? And oh God, these links are not my strong point, are they?
Right,
For
so
me-
what's going then?
Sacred Reich.
Annihilator.
Sacred Reich.
Sacred Reich.
You fucking wankers.
Bye. Hey, it's still yours going in though.
Yeah, but it's mine coming out, so it negates it.
Oh well. You're back to where you started then.
You should. I've forgotten who shared that one.
Mate,
That was-
Mike.
the beast from Blackpool now.
The beast from Black.
The beast. Gunge that beast.
Okay.
I watched that the other day. Scott. Fucking super.
Gunge that pedo.
He's fucking awesome, him, like.
So, this album, you all know how highly I rate their debut album, and I've spoke about it a lot and how much I love it. And I thought to myself, this one, have I given it the fair chance? Because I love their debut so much, have I given this album the fair chance? And listening to it over the last couple of days, this is so much better than I always thought it was back in the day. Because, like I say, because I'm sort of blinded by the brilliance of Forbidden Evil. This album is so good. The other guitarist who plays on this, that Tim Calvert, so
He's
good.
dead now, isn't he?
Yeah, unfortunately, he is. Yeah, it's not got that rawness of Forbidden Evil that I love so much, but it's a great album. And I think the only thing that does spoil it for me is I feel like it drops off a little bit. You know, I feel like
end.
Yeah, I feel like maybe up to the instrumental is solid, and then it just feels like it drops off a little bit. But when it comes down to melodic thrash mixed with that aggressive thrash, Russ Anderson's voice sounds absolutely spot on. Musicianship wise, it's fabulous. Paul Bostoff on the drums still, you know, the guys, he never lets you down, does he? Still not as good as Forbidden Evil, but right up there for me. This is a top 10 album for me. Whether it's in my top 5, well, we'll see, won't we, in a minute? But yeah, love this album.
So this was an album for me that so late to the party with Forbidden, and you were banging on about me for years, Mark, about getting them, and I got them. Clicked with the debut album straight away. Probably hadn't listened to this one enough. Now this week I've probably played this 3 or 4 times, and it's really clicked. I really love all of it. I mean the opening intro is not that great, but Infinite, Out of Body, Step by Step. It's I just found it really just that connection came there. And I know I'm going to be playing this a lot more now. It's something that I've just, well, if I think about, right, I'm going to play for a minute, I'm going to check on this one because I'm getting to know it a lot better. And this week it's going through listening to albums for this video. It's been really timely because I'm just glad that we're doing it because I now feel like I've got a new friend in the Forbidden ranks, and great stuff. I don't know if it's better than the first album yet, but it's close for me.
I don't think it's as good as the debut. The debut for me is phenomenal. I love the debut. Although I do love this, but it just doesn't beat the debut for me. But at the same time, I think this is a bit more. This has got a bit more like meat to it than the first one. The first one was kind of a bit more straightforward. This is a bit kind of more. Like, I'm not going to say it's proggy, but it's just got a lot more. It's like almost like I could compare it a little bit to like Sabbat. It's like
thinking man's thrash metal.
Yeah, there's a bit more going on. And when I first listened to this, I remember when I first listened to it, I thought, I wasn't sure about it at all. But the more and more I've listened to this, it's a phenomenal album. Like you said, like Infinite is a superb song, Step by Step. I thought it was actually a cover of New Kids on the Block, but it wasn't. I love this album. It's great. This is one I've got on my iPod, like that I always play at work, and it never fails to get me in a pretty deep. Well, I don't want to say that because like I'm like out in public, so
but there's
been a few complaints, but it's all getting sorted out through the lawyers.
You're in the woods, aren't you?
Yeah, that makes it even weirder because like I'm on my own. It's like a bit kind of.
What's Scott doing to that deer?
Yeah. Can you milk deer? I don't know. Well, I do know.
Well, you should do.
Yeah, and it's
a good job.
Just surely. We reach around? No. Anyway, back to the album.
Yeah.
I love it. Not as good as the first one, but I do love it.
Well, I personally think it's way better than the debut because the debut for me, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I do love that album. I always have. But I think the vocal patterns are kind of weird, and I think them strange choices for Russ Anderson. Whereas the choices of vocal patterns he's got for this one, I understand them more, and I think I don't know how you could have improved on that, but it kind of goes left field on the debut album for me, and I just think it's brilliant. But I agree with Mark as well. At the back end, it tails off, but up till that point, awesome.
Scott, did you just turn into Dio then?
He did.
It's Gene Simmons that invented that, isn't it?
Thought he did. Yeah. All right. So, how does this thing work again? Okay.
To agree with that with what Andy said, it's I think I've unfairly dismissed this album for so many years because of how much I love Forbidden Evil, and doing the research for this and playing it again has kind of made me realise I need to listen to this album a little bit more. You know, it is a fucking cracker. It really is.
But the thing is, I think it kind of gets passed over because it's not like I wouldn't say it's a straight on follow on from the debut. Do you know what I mean? It's got more to it.
It's a progression, isn't it, for sure?
Oh, definitely. That's a good word. It's definitely progression in it.
What year did it come out? Because I've got a issue and it says 99, which is obviously
90.
92.
90.
90. Yeah. 90.
I remember watching Power Hour and the break came on and then the program came on and they just put step by step on. They didn't introduce it or fuck all after the break. They just put the video on for step by step and I thought, fucking Jesus.
So where does it land then?
Well, I would take Annihilator.
Oh, Mike, would you? You're like a fucking broken record. Would you fucking leave Annihilator alone?
No. Generic as fuck, that singer.
As much as I hate to say this, and I do love it, and you know I love it, Scott, but yeah, the one that's got to go there for me is that it's got to go in for me. It's got to go in place of Annihilator for me.
You fucking dancer!
There's going to be a murder.
For me, I would probably choose Sabbat.
Oh, fucking hell.
In fact, I wouldn't probably choose it. For me, I will choose Sabbat. So we got, was it 2 for Annihilator? One for
Sabbat.
We've got a lot to
No way. Oh, fucking hell. That's a shit then. Yeah.
Well, you've got 2 for Annihilator, 1 for Sabbat.
Oh, God.
Von Villain has spoken.
Oh, man. That is ridiculous.
There you go. Darcy's even said that. And he's from Canadian.
He's from Canadian?
He's from fucking Canadian, like.
Aye.
Oh, well, looks like Annihilator's going then.
The decision
Well, you know what?
made.
Jeff Waters didn't get back to me about coming on the live stream, so fuck him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's watching now. He's just put a comment up. Hold on.
Yeah.
So, Annihilator.
I wasn't expecting that, but
Annihilator's gone.
Listen, hella later.
I'll listen hella later, yeah.
Alison catches later. What is my thing?
Well, I'm pleased that bastard's gone.
Shut your hole.
I can moan about someone else now. Who's next?
Andy.
Yeah, hold on.
Why would you mail there?
I'm just going to do this now because the last time it was my go and I fucked up with Alice in Hell, which is going now. So
That's it.
chat amongst yourselves for a sec.
Yeah.
What you got there, Scott?
What do you mean?
Crisps or something. What's that packet?
Fucking hell, he's well shady.
Right, I don't know.
It's a
BCLT.
It's come from Momox.
Is that like where you send your sample off to see if you got?
Yeah. Although it keeps burning through the bottle I put it in.
They're made from girders.
They're iron brews made from girders.
Should we go mainstream or should we go another?
I think we should, Andy. You've gone out on a limb twice.
Oh no, we've just got to fucking start.
All right.
We're into this. We're nearly 2 hours into it, and we know there's people waiting for these albums.
Yeah.
Anyone heard of Megadeth?
Boom! There we go.
There we go.
Straight in there.
Peace sells, but who's buying. I like this one a lot more than the debut, I've got to say. Certainly the original release of the debut, that's pretty raw, and I still like the debut, but this, although cover versions as well aside, Wake Up Dead, The Conjuring, Peace Cells, Devil's Island, love Devil's Island, love that. Good Morning Black Friday, Bad Omen. It's a great album, and don't they look young? And,
yeah,
and
they've definitely got makeup on and everything there, haven't they?
Yeah, but it doesn't. I mean, as is often said on the VC, this one needs no introduction. I don't need to tell you about this one, but it's a killer album. I would say one of the few I think that is probably better than the debut.
It's 10 times better than the debut.
Yeah,
it's that good. The only thing that lets this album down is I Ain't Superstitious.
Yeah, but they always have the shitty ones on.
They do, but I mean, even just look at it, it just looks brilliant. Doesn't it? It's just fucking it, and it starts off. It just attacks you straight away, and I'll never forget. I mean, we talk about a lot, reminiscing about MTV and Power Hour and that, but Wake Up Dead, seen video for that and Peace Cells, and just brilliant. That riff in Peace Cells. I can remember when I first heard Inner Self by Sepultura and hearing that song and like, whoa. That Peace Cells, that was like, I think that reminded me of Peace Cells when I heard it. I'd never heard a riff like it. It was like that was what thrash was about. That it was saying, here we go, this is about the riff now. It's not about the vocals, and the riff is going to lead this song. Just fucking brilliant album. But like I say, I Ain't Superstitious. I just don't. Why put that on there? That's the only thing that makes me stop this, playing it from start to finish.
So they have never picked a good cover version, have they? I mean,
no.
These Boots.
God Save the Queen.
Anarchy in the UK.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, there were short albums back then as well. They're like 8 songs, and then the stuff a shitty cover version in as well, and an instrumental. So you're down to like a mini album, then, aren't you? Really?
But Dave's so pissed off that he's still pissed at the old Metallica thing, isn't he? He's,
and you can tell, can't you? Because that's how it kicks in.
When I was listening to albums, you know what? I was like, I wanted, when I started this off, I knew this was obviously going to be a contender, and I wanted to find. I basically spent a fortnight trying to oust this out the top 5, quite honestly, because I thought it was a bit like cliched to have it in. I thought surely there's other better stuff out there. I know this is like a gateway. It's like a gateway album that you get into right away. But I thought, you know, there's only about 11 or 12 minutes of actual music with vocals on this album. There's so much fucking instrumental work on it, and it pisses me off. And it's never been. I do like it, but it's never been one of my like. I've seen it in the regard that other people do with Megadeth at all. And I wanted to get fucking shot of it, and I didn't want it in the top 5. But the fact is, I went through that many albums, and I thought, I can't oust it out. The quality is just not there.
There's a reason why some albums feel a bit cliche to put in. It's because they are fucking brilliant.
Because they are that fucking good.
Yeah.
And this is
everybody knows them, and it's almost.
I mean, that's what I was like. This is one of the last ones I listened to, because I thought, you know, it's probably one of those albums I don't really need to listen to. But I thought I'm kind of listening to everything else, so why not just stick it on and see? But, and like you say, people could be sitting there going, it's an easy choice to go with that one. But well, yeah, because it's fucking great.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no point in putting stuff up like, oh, we'll go for maybe a more obscure one that people don't know about and try and bump it up into the top 5. But they're obscure because they're not as good.
Yeah.
That's what it's down to. This is such a well-known thrash album because of the quality that's on it. I love it. Like you say, like when it first kicks off, it's such an improvement from the debut. I mean, I quite like the debut. It has got some great tracks on it, or some great stuff on it, but this is just like taking the debut and just set it on fire and blowing it up and then fucking kicking it down the stairs.
I think they actually put some of the money into production rather than up their nose.
Yeah, because they were obviously a talented band. Like, the debut could have been so much better because it does have some good quality material on it, but this is just them in the fucking zone.
Oh yeah.
So, and it's like, well, like I said, it's you kind of want to shy away from it because it's so well known, but there's a reason why it's so well known. So,
and I think the fact that our friend here Mike spent 2 weeks trying to oust it, and it stood, it weathered all of that and stayed
say
with
something.
That says a lot. You know what I mean?
That's
cheers.
I raise my glass to peace sells.
Peace sells and Mike's buying.
And you know, this cover as well. This was the start of Ed Repka.
Oh, the cover's awesome.
You know, becoming the king of thrash metal album covers. Wasn't it?
To be honest, when I first discovered that album back, like, it had only been out a year, and it seemed like this fucking legendary thing even by then.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't even seem like it's grown in like legendary status 30 odd years on. It was kind of that then, like a year later.
Yeah.
You were like, fucking peace sells. Like, even just after a year, you know what I mean? It was fucking ludicrous, really.
Yeah, it's pretty timeless.
It is.
Right. So, here we go.
Might have a hard decision on our hands here.
Start having a chat about that. I'm just going to take a quick break. You start the discussion. I'll be back.
Well, the only one on there that I don't know is Flotsam and Jetsam. I don't know that album, so that would have to go for me.
Oh, I think I have to agree.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I mean,
I love these videos. Oh, for fuck's sake!
I mean,
oh, that ridiculous. That impression is ridiculous. He's moved to Blackpool this last fucking fortnight, hasn't he?
Brutal.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Absolutely brutal.
Flotsam and Jetsam has to stay for me. The New Order has to stay. And I think
Flotsam has to stay over them. You're going to end up going overkill here, aren't you? Just because you've got a poxy purple logo.
I reckon that purple logo's worth about 20 quid more than your green logo.
Yeah, I think it is actually.
I think I'm not even going to vote on this because
you've got to.
I think Andy. Let's see what Andy says. Without you two saying what you've picked, let Andy go.
At the moment, you are Mark G with a V. You have to vote.
Okay.
Well, you can vote to just not have it in the list.
Yeah. You can always say,
"Yeah,
fuck peace sells."
Oh no, it's it's better than it. I love Taking Over, but it's better than Taking Over. So that would be the one that would have to go for me.
Andy?
Sabbat.
Right. So it's 2-2. It's 2-1-1.
Yeah, so two of you have picked Flotsam and Jetsam, am I right?
Yeah.
No, let's think about this. Wait.
Can I ask for a recount?
Wait. Is it better than Flotsam and Jetsam? I can't pick. I mean, the other ones are dead set for
Andy,
me.
what's the chat saying? Is there anyone still in the chat?
Yes, we still got a few. Let's see, where did we get to? Ditch Sabbat. New Order #1 all day. Yes, yeah, we know that, but potentially. But Flotsam and Jetsam, no place for the top 5.
Oh,
good night,
I
Sabbat.
like what they've done there.
Sabbat has to go.
Good
Sabbat is
Lord.
awesome, but still got to go.
Oh my god!
So Daniel's quite aggressive about that.
Right.
Fucking hell. So yeah, wow, look at that.
I think all these people who want Sabbat out just can't afford to buy the bastard. And they don't own it.
It's the Sabbath for Sabbat. I like that. I'd pick that now just for that saying there. It's the Sabbath for Sabbat.
I may have to take a controversial decision here, and I'm not going to put it in the top 5.
Wow.
What? Over those 5? Seriously? Do you know what? I'm impressed that you like Dreamweaver more than Peace Cells.
Yeah, I
really do.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I am going to nosh him off next fucking meetup.
No, honestly, I can't choose, so that means it can't go in.
Fuck me dry with sand on your cock.
Can you try and be a bit more cliche?
Well, I want to put it. I still want to put it in there. I do.
I can't believe that.
The consensus from the viewers is Sabbat.
Yeah, I'm getting.
I want it in.
I want it in. Do you want it in, Mike?
Well, I want it in, but not at the. I don't know Flotsam and Jetsam album. I don't know it, so I would obviously pick that one to go because I've never heard it, or I can't remember hearing it. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So I would pick that, but that doesn't seem to be featuring in this.
No.
Everyone seems to have got the knives in Sabbath. So, I mean,
doesn't mean Sabbat is a bad album if it's not in the top 5.
It means it's worse than fucking Flotsam, and there's no way I'm having that.
Is Dreamweaver better than Peace Cells?
I think it is.
No, I probably not. No, I don't think it is.
That's my thought as well. I love Dreamweaver, but is it better than Peace Cells?
But I mean, Agent Orange thinks it is, and I think that's fucking awesome.
Honestly, I can't choose. So that means Megadeth can't go in for me.
Fuck me, that is mind blowing. That
no,
I can't do it.
That's only
with my gut.
That's only Scott's choice, though.
Yeah, I can be outvoted.
Right. Well, I'm voting Flotsam out. Scott's voting Megadeth not in. Andy's voting Sabbat out, are you, Andy?
Yep.
And what are you voting, Mark?
That's what I'm going to do the same too. The decision has been made, yeah.
And it's also a consensus with most of the comments that we've had. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, the chat is fucking... The chat's like... They've got, like, fucking forks in that out, haven't they?
These people know what they're talking about, Mike. Let me just say that we respect
acting
everyone's
like Andy
opinions.
Sleep's just pissed on my kids.
Yeah. Yeah, they want them out. So fair
Looks like
enough.
it.
I mean, I'm not that. If this was history of a time to come, I'd be fighting to the death.
You
But
did last time. You didn't die, did you? So you obviously
no,
not answer your word. Yeah.
but you know, I don't hold Dreamweaver in the same regard as history of a time to come. To be quite honest, I really don't.
You've got to try and put that into perspective. On you, we know how good Dreamweaver is, but is it
It's a
as
consensus.
good as Peace sells?
There's
You know what I mean?
There's much more to take in and enjoy from Dreamweaver than there is from Megadeth.
Yeah. I suppose listening to Dreamweaver's like, you know, taking your missus out, taking her for something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back to it, run the bath, massage. Peace sells.
But you still might not.
Sacrifice a goat over there.
Yeah. Peace sells is getting home, pissed up, and just fucking her brains out.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
Like a microwave.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
Yeah, after a spag bowl.
Yeah,
4 minutes
like
in the
heated up in the microwave. So that's why I'm going for Dreamweaver is more elite.
Is your missus watching this?
Yeah.
Oh, she sat on the other settee there.
Is that you pressing into the sofa again?
Oh, don't. Maybe
So
after a
it's
few more of these,
Sabbat out then, isn't it?
I'll tell my
Sabbat's
edible.
I've already deleted it. We're moving on. So
And if we can have the little caption again, it's the Sabbath for Sabbat.
oh
Yeah, that's good. I like it. Who's next?
Scott.
Oh, fuck it. I had to stop drinking. Right.
It only gets funnier.
Well, let's just. Oh, fuck it now. Oh, the ones I got left are just. Let's just go with.
I just love the fact that Scott's having a full-on conversation with himself in his own mind.
Listen, you should see what goes on. Well, you should have seen what was going on last night. Fuck yeah, hell. For those who are watching, if you ever get a chance to try edibles, do and don't know. Maybe take half of one. Fuck yeah, hell.
Get your mate to try them. Because
I don't think edibles. The concept of that will leave Scotland, to be honest.
So, just so everyone knows, edibles are, from what Scott's told us. In fact, Scott, you explain to our watchers what an edible is, just so they know.
Right, so I was in the house before I picked my album. I was in the house last night. My cousin came up. He's just finished his job. He's got a new job, so he got a leaving gift, which was a bag of edibles. Now, if you don't know what edibles are, edibles are sweets, so candy, whatever you want to. We've like opal fruits, Starburst, Skittles, those kind of things, those kind of flavors. But they do have, I don't know if it's CBD oil in them or just grass put straight into
THC that has the effect on you.
THC or whatever it is. But, so you can buy these packets, about 20 quid a packet. So my cousin came round, he likes a wee smoke, and he said, "Oh, I've got some edibles." And I was like, "All right, okay." So he got them out, and there's about I don't know how much milligrams per edible there is, but I took them out, and he went. I was like, "Well, I just have half." He was like, "No, just gub the whole thing." So I was like, "All right, okay." So I took the whole thing. After about half an hour, I was like, "Oh," I was like, "This is nice, isn't it?" And then I would have to say about an hour later, I was paralysed. I was literally just like.
And how long did this paralysis last, Scott?
And honestly, he was trying to get me to stand up. I was sweating. I thought I was having a heart attack. There was waves going over me. And honestly, I think that went on for about 5 hours. And at one point, my whole body was tensed up. My hips almost felt like they were like try to push me into the sofa. I was just like, I was on a severe trip. I'd say the first half hour and the last half hour were really good.
But the middle 4
5 hours in between, I was honestly like, I tried to stand up, and my legs just didn't have any power. Like honestly, I thought I didn't have any. No, exactly. I had no power in my legs, so I thought. I actually at one point thought I might have to piss myself, or like just roll onto the floor and then whap it out and just piss on the floor or in a bag or I don't know. But yeah, that was my experience with edibles last night, and they're fucking ridiculous.
which is why you've come up with the fact that Megadeth is not going to be in your top 5.
Yeah, clearly some residual effects.
This is the second time you've made me cry tonight, and that's the same story. I've heard it twice, and it's still equally as funny both times.
Honestly, ridiculous. And I ate on my own body weight.
I just love the fact that you were that tense for 4 hours.
Honestly,
you thought you were going to break the settee.
My cousin was like, "Just try and relax." I was like, "Fucking relax! I got a fucking heart attack." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, my heart attack started in my legs. Like most people get like a sore left arm. I had like sore hips. I was like, "Fucking hell, man!" And then he left. I couldn't even get up to let him out. I had to go now. I'll see you later. I was fucking gone, like a proper zombie.
Like
a
merman out of water.
Yeah, I was just like, "Fuck this."
Oh dear.
I'll take half of one next time.
So there will be a next time.
Oh,
that story was even better the second time.
That's what I mean. Like, the first half hour and the last half
Honestly,
hour.
I couldn't. Back in the day, I took all sorts of stuff, but I just fucking couldn't cope with that now. My 2 cups of coffee is my fucking limit of a morning.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
I don't know what was going on, but then all of a sudden I thought I was in. I felt like I was in a completely different place. Like I was thinking to myself, imagine this house was like in a completely different city. I would have no friends. I wouldn't have any family near me. I can't walk. I'm having a heart attack. I'm pretty sure I'm like on the verge of having a panic attack. Anyway, Metallica.
Do you know what? Literally from that story, no one's commented. I think people are just like completely
have they all left?
Gobsmacked. No, they're just stunned.
I'm hoping people are rolling around laughing, crying with laughter, and they can't.
Honestly, I would. Well, to be honest, I would. If you do get the chance, just do it.
After that thrilling endorsement, I'm not really sure I'm ready for that.
Well, I then went to my bed and woke up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not up about 8.
And you can't buy these edibles in a normal sweet shop, by the way, can you?
No. Just make sure you've got like the fridge like packed with like chocolate, pizza, crisps.
You can probably buy them in a normal sweet shop in Cumbernauld.
Yeah.
Or Whitehaven. Whitehaven.
Oh.
Right.
Oh my God.
Come on. Let's get our shit together. Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Sorry for this bootleg copy I've got.
Yes.
My favourite Metallica album. Awesome. Fight Fire with Fire, Ride the Lightning, For Whom the Bells Toll, Fade to Black, Creeping Death. I mean, this would have to make my top 5. Never mind Megadeth. This would have to make my top 5. This is just awesome. And if I had to pick between those two, if I had to pick between Megadeth and Metallica, I'd have to go with Metallica. It's got to be there. Surely, it's got to be there. You know, like they didn't like. I wouldn't say they changed their sound from their first album, but it's like they were just tighter. The songwriting was a little bit better. It just kind of ticked all the boxes, really, when there's maybe some questionable things on the first one. So, Ride the Lightning, Metallica, where does that come?
Well, for me, like, I've got two sides to how I think of Metallica.
Here we go.
That album there is like one of the best albums that's ever been made to me. I mean, when I first heard Fight Fire with Fire, I couldn't cope with it. And it took me a few months and I shied away. I was like, fuck that. That's far too extreme. You know, it sounded like fucking Cryptic Slaughter or something. I couldn't cope with it. And then I managed to get my head around it and get my head around the album. And it's like, it's definitely one of the best albums in the world. But when you, and when I got into Metallica in sort of the first half of '87, I just thought they were fantastic. In every interview I watched, Lars Ulrich would say, yeah, we're not really a thrash band. And I used to be like, what a pompous cunt he is, saying that Metallica aren't a thrash band. Why does he have to be like that? Why does he have to try and be different, blah, blah, blah. And now that thrash has been done, finished, and I can put that in a box and look back on it, they weren't really a thrash band. They were a metal band with thrash leanings. And when I was researching for this video, I was like really, really strict. And I thought, there's no way that Ride the Lightning isn't one of the best albums ever made. But then when you look at thrash as a whole, can you really say that that's a thrash album? That's kind of how I looked at it. But then when I went and played it, because I nearly didn't, because I already like know it back to back, I listened to it and I thought, fuck it. It is a thrash album, I suppose. Everyone will say it is, even if I think it's kind of a metal album with thrash leanings, I'll get shouted down for that. And it's so phenomenal. Just put it in, sort of thing. And I mean, you know, it's probably just because I've heard of, you know, 95% of thrash albums now anyway, that I've got that kind of jaded look on the album, because it blew me fucking head off when I first heard it. And through lack of sort of quality of second albums, I would put it in the top 5 as well.
If this isn't what thrash metal became, but to me it was, you know, in those early days it was what thrash metal. I mean, it's almost, from your description, it almost sounds like it's proto thrash metal, which is thrash metal, basically. I love it. I haven't listened to this for quite some time, and I played it today, and it's not even my favorite Metallica album. Master of Puppets is my favorite one because it was the first one that I heard not long after it came out. So, but I can see why this is so many people's favorite thrash metal album. Master of Puppets is probably mine because just of the connection I have with it, and it being the first time that I heard these and thought, "Oh, I like these guys." And I went back. It's a massive step up from the first one, a lot like Megadeth. You know, the good first album, but you know the difference in production and the quality of the songs, everything is fantastic. Yeah, Creeping Death is just one of my favorite metal songs of all time. So it's definitely a top 5er for me.
Yeah, I think this album's one of the reasons why Cliff Burton's held in such high regard, because this has got Cliff Burton all over it. That difference from Kill 'Em All to this album, and the classiness, the progression from Kill 'Em All to this, those epic moments, are down to Cliff Burton for me. You know, they're not certainly not Kirk Hammett, but I think Andy's right. I think this is almost like back then. Was it a thrash album? Because it's 84, isn't it? This is the beginnings of thrash.
Yeah.
Is this a proto thrash album?
Kill 'Em All was called a thrash album, so it can't still be
I
And
suppose
that was considered the first Thrash album, so this still can't be
I suppose
post
maybe,
the first Thrash album
that's-
and not still a Thrash album.
Yeah, but maybe that's what makes this so great is because it just kind of grew from that Kill 'Em All to this, and it's like this is you thought Kill 'Em All was what a Thrash album was. This is a fucking Thrash album. You know,
It sounds later than '84, that doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It does. I mean, how many times have you heard For Whom the Bell Tolls? But how many times you listen to it? Do you ever you listen to it and you think, I've heard that fucking intro a million times, but you still listen to it? It's just
even the slower songs on here just
Fade to Black.
Yeah.
You know,
it's untouchable. It's untouchable, isn't it? It's just that it's like it's a bit cliched, and I thought I'll be able to uncover something better than it, and I can't.
I know, but that's the thing. They're held in that high regard because they are that good. Do you know what I mean? And although Metallica are fucking crap now, like back then they were fucking untouchable.
And that's it, isn't it? It's because now what they're like, you're looking at that album thinking, is it really as good as all that? But no, it is.
Yeah.
It's
no cover versions either.
It's another front to back album all the way.
Even though Metallica are the kings of the cover versions when it comes to putting out B-sides and EPs and cover albums, they never.
They're the only ones in metal. They're the only ones in metal that can make anything sound like their own.
Yeah,
but they didn't need to put any padding on the albums. Those first 4 albums, they didn't need to put a cover on there because they had everything was just top quality.
And Mark, you'll be able to relate to this when you're learning guitar and you start to learn fucking the first few Metallica albums. You just think like life doesn't get any better, don't you?
Oh, unbelievable.
Sitting playing along with them, they're like intricate enough to keep you interested and simple enough that you can manage them.
Yeah. I can remember learning Fade to Black. All of us trying to work out this before any kind of books of Tab had come out. But one thing that struck me as well is even the logo. Like from Kill 'Em All, the flat but white red Metallica logo. It just look at it. Even the album says, "I'm fucking metal. How metal am I?"
I drew that on my exercise books at school.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. When I saw that logo, I was getting into metal. Look, there's no way you're not going to buy that. There's no way you're not going to draw that all over your school books.
Yeah, it's just absolutely huge, really, isn't it?
Fabulous album, yeah.
So much so that I wanted to avoid it.
I think it has been voted the #1 thrash album of all time, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to put that on. It's hard to knock back off.
Yeah.
And some of these I've put on and thought, fucking hell, I'm going to rip into that when we do that video, and people aren't going to understand why. And there's still some of those albums to come. But that one I put on and I just thought, oh, fuck it, I give in. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Let's have at it then.
Shit, what goes?
Well, we know what Marty's going to pick, don't we?
I'm going to pick Guinness now, actually. Yeah. Flotsam and Jetsam for me.
Fucking bastards.
See you later.
For me, there. Oh fucking hell! Do you know what?
I'm torn, but this is where it gets hard.
Yeah.
Let's anyone in the comments, check your opinions out, and it might help.
Do you know what? For me, it's got to be Megadeth.
Yeah.
I've got to go with Megadeth for that one.
I'm torn between Forbidden and Overkill.
Forbidden and Overkill. Fucking hell!
Is Twisted into Form better than Ride the Lightning?
Oh God!
No,
It's not, is it?
no, it's not, is it?
Oh, fuck.
I'm between Forbidden and Overkill as well, and I love both bands, but you know, it's not saying I don't love either of them.
I love all,
it's a hard choice.
All 5 albums in that top 5 there are fucking brilliant. There's no doubt about it. Is Twisted into Form better than No Place for Disgrace?
Twisted into Form better than No Place for Disgrace. I'd say it is.
I'm not sure, but I know No Place for Disgrace much better. But Twisted into Form.
No Place for Disgrace is better than Taking Over in my head. I know that, right? So my choice is Overkill. Overkill's going.
Fucking hell.
For me, Ride the Lightning has to be in here. It's better than Twisted into Form. It's better than Taking Over. It's better than No Place for Disgrace. In fact, it's probably, to me, the best of them here.
It's better than all of them, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah, so which one? I would probably go with Overkill.
I can't believe how fucking high you lot keep Flotsam. I mean,
it's brilliant.
I also know that better than Taking Over.
Well, I'm going with Megadeth, so
yeah, and that's what this is all about. We can only go off what our own personal. I mean, it's nice to hear what people say, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you can only give an informed opinion about something that you know about.
And do you know what?
So if we all pick different ones, then
with careful counselling, we could all still be friends at the end of this.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking likely.
I think Overkill's going.
Is it?
Overkill for me.
Me and Andy have picked Overkill.
Oh, right. I thought you picked Forbidden. Right, okay.
Mike's gone for Flotsam and you went for Megadeth.
Right. Overkill goes then. Shit.
Holy moly.
Okay. I think he's on a roll tonight.
Oh, God, Overkill.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Brilliant.
Who's to win?
There we go then.
Is it me now?
That was a long one.
Well, it's going to get harder. Well, for some anyway.
No, it's not.
The best thrash album that ever was.
Oh, fucking
Nuts said. This was my intro to Anthrax, and it nearly got beat soon after I heard it by Among the Living, but no, it's fought off everything ever since, and it's just fucking ridiculous, phenomenal. And I wouldn't give the first Anthrax album House Room. I never voted for that last time, even though that Anthrax are my favourite band. This is just like, to go from Fistful of Metal to this is like one of my most hated albums in metal to one of my most loved in fucking 18 months. Surely nobody with any sense is not putting that in the top 5.
And we all know what Andy's going to make of this. Andy's got about 25.
Oh, fuck yeah. He's going to talk about all his pressings.
They've all got slightly different Music for Nations labels on them, so it's very important that you get.
Andy's got enough copies of this so he can lay it out on his bed and get his entire body on the wall.
And I do. I actually do that. Yeah, I'm not ashamed. I should be, but I'm not.
Now, this, for me, this is one that Among the Living was my go-to album. It still is. I love that album more That's my favourite Anthrax album. But I have to say, listening to this and while doing the research, and I put this on, it just seemed to go from song to song to song. And I was like, fuck me, there's so many good riffs on this album, you know? And I never realised how
Oh
good
my
I thought.
God. Explosive action. Fucking
Right now.
shoot yourself.
All of a sudden, your comments aren't so funny anymore.
No,
What a bastard.
He'll come up with something brilliant in a minute, and then I'll agree with him. I was, like I say, Among the Living's the one for me, and this goes nowhere near Among the Living. And I think it's down to one of those situations where me and my friends, that was our go-to Anthrax album, and I don't really remember any of my friends really picking up on this album. So I don't think I did either. But over the years of listening to it, I love it. It's a great album, and it's been nice to reconnect with it actually, and I probably will play it a little bit more. But if I'm brutally honest with you, in my opinion, this isn't better than any of those 5 we've got in that top 5 now.
Oh my God. It's poorly.
Right, let me chime in. This is a fantastic album. There's no denying it. It's got a really good flow to it. The songs are catchy. There's great riffs in it. But does it make top 5?
Of course it does.
Does it? Fuck.
It's higher than top 5.
There's
Oh
no
my
way.
God.
There's no way that makes.
Where's Chris Hansen when you need him?
Oh, probably rubbing on myself with this. Nah, I mean, listen, it's a great album. It is a great album, and it's
Hey, I think Winebender's in the chat.
it's my.
Hey, I hope you're well, buddy.
He was in it about half an hour ago.
You've not been reading the comments popping up.
Yeah, Eric, sorry, mate, I'm pissed up, but hope you're doing well.
He's about to get more pissed up when I carry on with my dissection of this. But like I said, it's a great album, but it's nowhere near top 5 for me. Nowhere near.
No.
There's good quality songwriting. There's good songs on it, but I mean,
It's
top
not even-
5 thrash of all time.
It's not even the best Anthrax album.
Give yourself a fucking monumental shake.
I honestly, I'm.
No.
Paul.
I mean, listen, Madhouse, Medusa, Gung Ho, superb songs.
Do you know what? I'm going to send Alec Baldwin round to shoot you and Explosive Action because he didn't even want it in his top 100.
Who's shooting me?
Alec Baldwin with a stage
With a
gun.
blank.
But yeah, he's going to shoot him and you. That is insane. And you, the Beast of Black Pearl. I can't believe it.
You're delusional.
No,
I think
Andy.
The
The stage is open to Andy now.
this is one of my favourite albums of all time. I got into
You're
this
fucking
album
joking.
even before I knew what thrash metal was. So much so that when I heard Anthrax had written a song about Judge Dredd, I actually thought the song "Lone Justice" was about Judge Dredd to start with, just kind of based on the lyrics. But to start off with AIR, Lone Justice, Madhouse. It's time for your medication, Mr. Brown. Fucking awesome intro to a song. Stand or Fall, The Enemy, Aftershock, Armed and Dangerous. The melody start the song. It's really, really. It slows it down, but then packs a punch. And Medusa and Gung Ho is just. Oh god, I am in love with this album. This is the album I did not need to listen to this week for this video, but I did anyway. Because
this is the album that I knew that you two were gonna pick.
Yeah,
and I knew I needed to listen to it more because I thought I know Andy's love for it, and I know Mark's love for it, so I had to listen to it, and I like it, and it's a good album. Don't get me wrong; it's got some great riffs on there. And I was surprised at how much I did like it. Not that I've ever disliked it, but I've always kind of compared it to Among the Living.
Yeah,
and it is a riff fest. There's no doubt about it.
But Joey Belladonna being introduced into the world as and just such an amazing vocalist. He didn't
even really know anything about what they were doing at the time, thrash or anything. He came from a completely different area of rock, and just thought, right, okay, I'll try and do what you want. Fucking awesome. He's still awesome. He's easily the best of the big four singers.
Yeah,
still got it. Well, I prefer it. I mean, I love Among the Living, but that is the best. And somebody put in the comments about State of Euphoria being the best, and I'm sorry, but that's just criminal comment.
State of Euphoria is a good album, but yeah,
there's only Fistful of Metal I don't like, but I
like Fistful of Metal as well. But
I can't.
That song clicked with me. It takes me straight back to being about 15 years old, and I didn't. I say when I first heard about bands like Metallica, when you mentioned Ride the Lightning before about being like, oh, that sounds a little bit too full on for me, and I heard Anthrax, and I think I heard Anthrax, and I didn't know what this thrash metal was, and it's not full on thrash. It's not what a lot of people would classify as full on thrash metal when the way it evolved and became rawer. And there's always been that melody, and Joey's voice has always added that extra element. It's not barking lyrics; he sings the songs, and that to me is a perfect album.
Well, we better vote then.
Fighting time.
What's the chat saying, Andy?
I can't see it. The tears in my eyes from Scott's and Mark's comments. I will put them all up regardless of my staying.
What Jürgen just said there. I think Jürgen's on the one.
Fucking Anthrax.
Simon is on fire.
He is.
No, he's not. Not anymore. Not anymore. There we go. That's a better one.
Oh, don't start fucking hand-picking the comments.
No, I am doing them all.
I met Macca at the Acid Rain gig, and he seemed like a nice lad.
Yeah,
and he's dissing the Flots.
I bet he wishes he met me.
It's Flots till death.
No, it's not. It's Flots till someone should fucking spreading the disease.
Don't be hipsters. All right. What the fuck does that mean?
Well, we know we've got one hipster on the fucking team.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking...
This guy up here. I can't even find...
Apparently, when you show albums...
Is Scott not a hipster because he spent 4 hours pushing his hips into the...
Oh, yeah.
Is that what that means?
So, fellas, crunch time. Oh, I'm not even sharing the fucker. Hold on. Here we go.
Share the fucker.
Here we go.
Oh, dear.
Boom. I'm going to come straight out and say...
Flots out.
Forbidden or Flots for me?
I would say Anthrax doesn't even touch that list.
Same.
Oh, you fucking penis.
Anthrax ain't getting in that list for me.
Nah, fuck that.
You two cunts.
Sorry.
So you two, Andy and Mike, you would get rid of Flots for that.
No fucking
yes.
And
I would.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it's 2-2, go to the crowd. And I don't like the look of the crowd.
No. You need a majority.
You do.
Out of the 4.
Come on, please, guys, come on.
No.
Forbidden gone. Show 'em base.
It's only out of us 4. And me and Mark.
Right?
Are the majority.
Oh,
Forbidden
fucking
out.
what?
No
That's
fucking way.
two Forbiddens out.
Come on, keep them coming, Andy.
Andy,
No. Hey,
They got to
right.
come.
don't be cheating, Andy. Don't be
the
hiding
decision has
them.
been made.
Right.
I hope Explosive Action has gone for a fucking sandwich.
Banthrax.
Banthrax. Genius.
I think that's Flots.
Yes.
No, that says floats to me.
That says buy floats. That means
Buy
go
floats.
fishing.
I'm not
I
buying
don't
it.
care.
You can't even spell buy right. That actually went. That was an order. Go out and buy floats.
Nathan was putting an order in there with you.
Yeah. I'm away to buy floats.
Buy floats.
So we've got.
Has anyone got Chris Hansen on fucking speed dial?
No. Sorry, right, move on.
Oh no, man.
So we are at a bit of an impasse. We've got two that say not in and two that say.
Oh my god.
And
Flop
two,
out.
Make it, Mike.
I can't. Do you know what, Andy, though? Can you believe we're having this harder work with fucking spreading the disease?
No, not at all.
Yes.
It's good to be unfair. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Eric's been the deciding vote, I reckon.
Right.
Well,
Who's next?
the other two, we've got two who say forbidden out, and I've not seen any other people mention any other bands going out. So I'm not.
There's Forbidden.
Oh, yeah, some people have mentioned Flotsam out, haven't they?
Forbidden
Who's next?
is the.
Nathan said Flotsam out.
Oh, we did.
Forbidden
Yeah.
is the one that we've had. No, Jurgen said Forbidden out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nathan
Okay.
said Flots
Who's
out.
next then?
Oh, fucking hell! Look at that.
No fucking way. No way. Right, who is it? Mark.
Fuck.
No, it's not. Yeah, calm down. This is a big one.
No. It's Mark to go.
We haven't got this settled yet. Hang on.
If you don't have a majority, it doesn't go in. You've not got the majority.
But because there's four of us, and two of us are saying two of us are saying not in, but two are saying definitely in.
I can't believe it.
So there's no majority.
Do we not then use the sort of the fifth member of the team, the viewer?
No.
Well, we've done that, and they're undecided.
We clearly can't fucking trust them, Mark.
Okay. So, what happens now, Andy?
Well, I
can't believe it.
have control of the keyboard. I could really do what the.
That's why I asked.
No,
yes.
I don't know. I mean, it's always going to be my number one. And
I can't believe right? It's our number one, and yet it isn't even getting in the fucking list.
Wait a minute. Is Flotsam and Jetsam and Forbidden your guys?
It just shows the poor fucking taste of these other two cretins.
I might just go to bed.
Yeah.
Take my ball home.
Oh my god! I can't believe you're doing this to me.
What?
No place for disgrace. This is disgrace. Here, what we're.
It beats. Well, to me, it beats all five. But I would argue the case.
Are you fucking on drugs?
No, it's right.
You're what? You're fucking mental. If that beats all
It
five.
beats all five. It's a number one to me.
You are on drugs.
It's got to be.
And I
Oh,
know
come
that
on,
you-
quickly, come on.
I'm loving this. I'm loving
Listen,
it.
I get why you want Anthrax in, but saying it beats all five, you are on fucking.
Well, I can't believe you don't think it's better. Are you too serious that you don't think it's better than any of those albums up on that list?
No.
Are you serious?
I would
Yeah,
much rather listen to all those albums than Anthrax.
All five albums on that list, in my opinion, are better than Spreading the Disease.
Definitely.
I'm going to need to borrow your pacemaker, Scott.
Right. Do you know what, Mark? I don't know whether we would have got on
But to be fair, having Anthrax as your favourite band is a bit weird anyway.
Fuck. I can't. No. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
There's no way I can go in. See, yes, Brendan, get in. BVD knows his shit.
You're clutching at straws.
Well, what we do?
Oh, look, I tell you what, it's not. It hasn't gone in, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it. Everyone's cunts.
You really find out who your friends are in these live streams. Don't
Yeah. Who's next?
Mark.
Oh, hold on. I'm still.
We're still trying to decide. Yeah, we're trying to figure out the best way to do this, aren't we?
Is Matt Flots out Anthrax in? Yes.
Well, fucking take it out then. It's
Oh,
not
so
that.
No, you're right, and I'll be honest, because me and Scott are saying it doesn't go in, but you two are saying it does go in, and you're both saying Flots out. We kind of need that deciding vote, I think, and that's what I think, that's what Andy's doing now. He's totting up the forbidden.
Tell you what. From now, whether people have already commented or not. So starting right from now, let's just take people either say Anthrax or Flots in the comments.
Or forbidden.
Right, so it's going to be Anthrax in. So Anthrax is in. So who are we taking out, forbidden or Flots?
That's what it's boiling down
That's
to.
what
Isn't
it's.
it?
That's. I mean, I'm obviously having fun with this because it's hilarious. But
now I know how you felt about.
If we are going to boil it down to what the comments say, it's forbidden or Flotsam Jetsam. So what's it going to be?
Come on, everybody! Thanks for sticking with us while we're fucking about here.
Yeah. Well, Andy and Mike are fucking being little babies.
It seems to be about 50-50 between forbidden and Flotsam.
Right, somebody flip a coin then.
Flotsam.
No, there's more
Flotsam's edge in it.
Yeah, there's more Flotsams there, isn't there?
I can't believe how much regard you hold that Flotsam album, and I need to get that.
Right, I'm going for buy Floats then.
Right, come on then.
It's a great album, that Flotsam and Jetsam. You'll end up loving it more than spreading the disease.
It is a great album.
Oh, fucking right.
I
You come
won't.
back in the next video and go, fucking hell, what have I been missing? Anthrax or shite?
No, I won't, but I will buy. I mean, it's made me definitely want to buy Flotsam now. Right, come on.
Let's move on.
Is it Mark?
Yeah.
Please.
Now, this is an album, again, not my first album that I listened to by this band, but obviously once you love an album by a band, you sort of start looking at the discography. And I went back to this, and I'm gonna put it here because it's held in high regard, and
I think I've got it sat here waiting as well.
I'm not really, if I'm honest, why it is held in such high regard. This is one of the albums that I've listened to, and I didn't get all the way through it, and I was quite shocked by it. But Exodus,
Oh, right.
Pleasures of the Flesh. I like this album. It's a decent album, but I don't know. I was really quite disappointed by listening to it. It didn't seem to have. It seemed to have some good riffs here and there, but it just felt it didn't feel like it flowed very well. After Bonded by Blood and that sort of raw aggression and youthfulness that the album has, this one almost sounds like they were under pressure by a record label to become the next Metallica or something. It doesn't quite sound like what I was expecting it to. And like I say, I got about what song was I get up to? Pleasures of the Flesh it was, and I ended up turning it off. I just felt really quite sort of flat about it, and I was like, wow. But yeah, Exodus, Pleasures of the Flesh, their second album.
I'm going to be honest. Oh, sorry. On you go.
I'll just jump in quick, Scott, and you can talk about it because I don't own that album and I've never actually heard that album. I've heard first couple of songs of it, and I didn't join that band when that came out. I didn't discover Exodus till Fabulous Disaster, and that was like the big album for me. Then I was told, oh, you should check out Bonded by Blood, which I did. And then, I don't know, none of my mates, nobody I knew owned Pleasures of the Flesh, so I never got to hear it back in the day. And I've went back and I give it a sample very quickly, and I was like, yeah, I don't think that's one I need.
I mean, I've always liked the album, but I always liked Bonded by Blood and Fabulous Disaster better. It's always been that way. They've always been like my two go-to Exodus albums. But playing this in the last week, it kind of clicked with me a little bit. I actually probably like everybody else, kind of held it down, I suppose, compared to some of the other stuff. But I mean, I really enjoyed it. Deranged. Christ, the font on this is Till Death Do Us Part. Pleasures of the Flesh. Seeds of Hate. Chemical. Chemical is a great song. Yeah, so I actually kind of clicked with this a lot more in the last week or so than I have before. I think mainly because when I play this album, I might put it on and it's kind of maybe if you're doing something and obviously it stops and you flip it over and you're doing something and you chuck it back in the sleeve and then it's back on the shelf. But properly sitting down and like kind of soaking it in, it kind of really kind of clicked with me. I mean, Chemical, that's probably the best song on the album. I mean, it's never going to make the top 5, but I think it's a really decent album. They obviously kind of really came back with Fabulous Disaster.
Yeah,
but yeah, decent. I like it.
But
not top 5.
Despite us completely falling out over the last album, I've got to say I agree with everything you said on that, Scott. It's one that I don't go to often because I go to Bonded in Blood. That's my Exodus go-to album. But having played it this week, again, I really click with it. And for a brief second before I actually listened to the other stuff again, I did wonder whether this could be a top 5 contender. It's not for me, but the song's on the back. That annoys me. Apart from 30 Seconds, which is a bit of a pointless song. Parasite, Brain Dead, Chemical, yeah, agree with that. It's absolutely fucking fantastic. Choose Your Weapon as well. Great stuff. Yeah, so I've really one of the albums that, as a result of doing this, I will play more now. So yeah, good album, but not a top 5 to me. I'd be surprised if it knocks out any of the ones we have already.
No chance.
Yeah.
Should we have a look anyway, just to be sure?
Yeah, let's just have a refresh of what's there.
A quick recap.
Good to know that it's. I've not pressed the right button, have I? What an amateur.
Jesus. Good shit.
Talk amongst yourselves. You do it next time, Scott.
No,
Supposed to be university educated, this lad as
I
well.
know. Is he? Fuck.
Yes, it's
He's been winging it.
yes, but that button, and then that button, and then that button,
And Andy works for fucking a computer firm
With
as well.
computers, yeah. It shows.
So there we go. So do you know what I'm most pleased about, Mike? Is that despite the struggle to get Anthrax in here, it's good to know that the guys agree that it needs to stay there. So for them, it's a top 5 album at the moment.
Let's not push it.
Yeah.
Let's see what some of the comments say. So yeah, I think I've done a few of these. Not top 5, but I do enjoy it. Chemical, best song. I agree with that one. Good, but not top 5.
Yeah, I think the
Parasite is a great song.
But doesn't quite make it.
not one I can comment on really.
So how many more albums have we got left between us here, boys, now?
I've got. I think I've got 3 left.
I'm gonna show a big one now.
Yeah, let's get the big ones out now.
Yeah, let's do the big ones, then we can do some very quick honorary mentions because it's we're getting over 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
About 15.
this album is massively, highly regarded. I know Andy won't like it, but it's highly regarded. But I've got to say, when I listened to this album this week, this was one of the ones I couldn't get through, and I just thought, I don't know whether it's like, I don't know whether it's a bad week for me.
I know what's coming.
I know what's coming as well.
I just thought to myself, this is not. I'm not getting any pleasure out of this week, and I know it's a decent album. I'm not saying it's not, but it's nowhere near the top 5 or top 10, and I don't know whether it would even make a top 15 for me. And I know I've like got at Andy over the last few years and said, "Oh, try Kreator and blah blah blah," and anybody he asked would probably say, "Go to Pleasure to Kill." But you know what? It's just a load of fucking noise. When I listened to that this week, I just thought, get off. That's just a load of noise. And there's no way I could present that to Andy and say, listen to that, you'll enjoy it. I know he wouldn't. I don't even enjoy it myself this week.
No,
really sorry.
You sound so old.
Stick that in your spread the disease.
Coma of Souls.
Stick that on your spreadsheet.
Coma of Souls is where Andy would need to start. But that I have to say, when I first heard Pleasure to Kill, again, my introduction to Kreator was Terrible Certainty. But when I first heard Pleasure to Kill, I remember at the time thinking, "Fucking hell, that is just a racket compared to Terrible Certainty." It was almost like death metal compared. It was so raw, but it's great. It's not going to get in that top 5. It's not going to beat those top 5 in there, but I enjoy it now a lot more than I did back in the day. I think there's some great riffs in there. They seem to go from like furious madness to these lovely little melodic passages, sort of twin guitar work, and Millie's vocals have always sounded great. I love his sort of raspy vocal style. But I enjoy it now more than I did back in the early 90s. Great album, but it's not going to beat any of those 5. Well, it would beat Spreading the Disease, but we won't.
You're joking. Got.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. It's never been. It's not an album you'd listen to and think, "Oh, fucking hell, that is awesome." Do you know what I mean? It's got some.
It's got some people, though.
What?
It is for some people.
But not for me though.
No, I know, but I'm saying.
I don't think that though. That's fucking my opinion. Right, Scott, what do you think? Well, I think at this. I want other folk don't think that. Well, that's not my fucking problem, is it?
You weird little man.
Well, sure. What, do you want me to speak from else?
You're a real friend, you would.
What about you, Andy?
Yeah. Had it been 2 hours ago, and got on the list.
I'm not a Kreator fan, so I think you probably know where I am with it. I don't know why they never clicked with me. And Mike's tried. He used to send me the odd YouTube clip, but he's given up now.
No, I think with this it's like a bit too. It's not quite reached its thrash potential. It's a bit, like you say, it's a bit chaotic, so it doesn't flow as well as like the late 80s, early 90s thrash albums do. But I mean, some people think this is amazing. Some people think this is number one. But
I know that's what I was saying, Scott.
I'm not everybody else. So
Yeah, no, I realize that now.
Jesus Christ. So yeah,
I thought you were.
It sounds like they've not quite found their own sound, doesn't it? You know, you can hear bits of what's to come on Terrible Certainty. And
like you said with one of the other albums, it's almost like just like a stepping stone in their progression of finding their kind of sound there. Some great songs, but it would never make my top 5. So
I mean, if this was a video on influential albums, that shit is right in there. That could have been the start of thrash. It could have been like black metal and death metal. It could have been any of them.
Like I say, that's why it's quite chaotic. There's a lot of shit going on, and it's not my go-to Kreator anyway. It wouldn't be in my probably top 3 Kreator go-to albums.
All right, so most people seem to say it is not top 5. Where the fuck's the button? There we go.
Need to knock that bottom one off.
So let's move on.
Well,
Right,
given
the fact that you've said that Kreator was a starting point and something that would influence others and it would get better as it progresses, the Anthrax album is one. Still flying that flag is one that defined their sound, and they moved, and that was their sound from there on. So,
yeah, right, Mike.
Is it? It's not me, is it? It's Mark.
Is it?
Who just did Kreator?
Who did Kreator?
That's right.
Oh right, okay. Let's talk about another Raw album, and again, showing this just because I love this album. This again isn't my introduction to the band. Their third album was my introduction, but went back to this, and again, if we're talking about influential albums, you could call this proto death, proto black, but Voivod and Raw, their second album, Raw. I love this album. It's so full of attitude. Even like just the second song, it's called Fuck Off and Die. You know, when you're a 14, 15-year-old lad and there's bands looking like that, you know, Blackie on the bass there, look at that. Just full of attitude and aggression, and like I say, very chaotic, and you know, the first time I heard it again, I was like, "Whoa!" It was like listening to something completely different. You know, it was a little bit too much for me, I think, when I first heard it, but that kind of also intrigued me to go back to it. and I love it. I appreciate the album now. Again, I know it's not going to make the top 5, but very much like Pleasure to Kill. If you're talking about influential albums, Raw by Voivod.
I didn't jump on Voivod till Killing Technology, and I've got like a best of with all those some of those old songs on. But to be honest, they're like, fucking hell, that's just too chaotic, too noisy.
Yeah.
I don't think to bother with Voivod till Killing Technology, to be honest.
And Killing Technology the sound had changed. It had evolved into more of a thrash sound. That album's very punky, blacky. You know, there's a bit of it's just heavy metal, I suppose. 80, you know, what is it? 84. What year was it? 86, I think it is. You know, so it's they're finding the feet, but it's yeah. I like it. It's a good one.
Voivod are a band. They're a kind of greatest hits band for me. I've got that noise. CD, kind of the greatest hits, but I don't think I've got. In fact, I don't have any of their albums, and I've not heard Roar, so I can't really say too much about it.
Yeah, same here. I don't know anything by them. I just another one of those bands that passed me by. Never really clicked with anything I've heard that has made me excited to go and check out more. That may well change one day, but not for me. So I guess it's not going to change anything here. Given we're at the 3-hour mark, and I can't believe it's gone that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Are there, rather than just go round again, I was thinking necessarily, are there any
big hitters
people have that they think are big hitters that potentially should be in there?
Yeah, I think this one people are going to want to know. What do you think of this one?
Yeah,
I've got a couple. Yeah.
Helloweight, Slayer's second album. Again, I like this album. It's good, but for me, this is a lot of people like this. They say it's the favourite, and I understand why, because there's some great songs in there, some great riffs, and some great ideas. But for me, they were still kind of finding the feet, finding their. I mean, Raining Blood. You know, again, it's not actually Raining Blood's not my favourite Slayer. On my favourite, South of Heaven was the one that introduced me to the band, so that's the one that I gravitate to. But I just found this, you know, this came out the same year as Ride the Lightning. And it is just, they're like chalk and cheese, those two albums, aren't they? Mm-hmm. This is so raw and...
It seems quite far behind.
It does, yeah, it does. Mm-hmm. It seems like...
82.
It's still, it's aggressive. It's a good album, but it's not a top 5.
Mm. That's like what I said earlier about... Exhumer and Rising from the Sea, that they're actually very alike musically, but I just find the production on Helloweights is terrible. It's still really good musically, but Tom Aray's vocals for some reason just do not sit well with me when it comes to kind of production. It sits like back in the production, and like kind of Mark said, it's one of those kind of like stepping stone albums that, you know, they had like Show No Mercy, and they went on to Helloweights, and then they kind of found their sound on Rain and Blood. But I'm the same. South of Heaven would be my go-to Slayer album if I was into Slayer. But like musically great, production-wise lets it down.
I jumped on Slayer on South of Heaven, and to be honest, the following album was my go-to album, Seasons, and I never really bothered to go back. I mean, I did go back, but I've never owned any of the first few albums, and I've just never. I've got Rain in Blood because you can get that anywhere, but it's not something I enjoy. Apart from the Rain in Blood and Angel of Death, I think it's massively overrated, and I think the early Slayer stuff, it's all fucking reverb, and I'm just not a fan of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I find the same with. I listened to that today. In fact, I as soon as I just showed it, then I just stuck it back on the shelf because I think it was. I didn't need to go into it in too much detail. Never been big onto early Slayer. They scared the shit out of me when I was younger. I was thinking it's just too mental. But listening to Hello It's Today, again, it just a lot of the sounds, a lot of the riffs, and it's the same every song with just maybe a little bit different guitar solos bunged on the top. A lot of the songs just sound very, very. It's got the same basic recipe. It's like a pizza, different toppings on each song, but it's a pizza every song. So I like South of Heaven. I like. In fact, that used to be my favorite album, but then I've got more into Seasons of the Abyss recently. But they've never been a go-to band for me. So there we go.
Does it make the top 5?
No.
Tankard, Chemical Invasion, not a bad album, quite sort of punk influenced though, and they've done better albums. They haven't done a better album cover, but they've done better albums. They're an awesome band, and I think the kind of people talk about the German Big Three, and then sometimes some people include Tankard, and I think they should be there every bit as much as the other bands. But this is never going to be, this is an album I do like, but it's never going to be a top 5.
I love Tankard, but I don't own that album. It's the only one album I don't own by them for some reason. What about that one, boys?
Yeah, I was going to say Elephant in the Room.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
This was the one album that I listened to this week that my opinion just went way down.
Same, exactly my sentiments, Andy. I put it on, and I was bored.
Yeah, I'm bored.
I've never ever thought that was a great album, to be honest.
I loved it.
I put it on this week.
Back in the day, I loved that. I just thought it was a great. I don't know what it was about, but listening to this, it's not stood the test of time. Really, not for me anyway.
I mentioned it at the start of the video. There was one band that I thought I really liked, but I love the Ultraviolence. I've never really got on that much with Act 3. I thought I loved Frolic. I like some of their later albums, some of their latest albums. Evil Divide, there's Dream Calls for Blood. Fantastic albums. I prefer those. But I really went into this thinking this could be quite high, but I put this on, and then I put Exodus on, and that was higher. And then I listened to the album and thought, well, that's higher. And it just didn't go anywhere. And I was really surprised. And obviously the Cold Gin cover is horrendous.
Oh, unbelievable. Why?
You do this?
Death Angel.
The band don't like it themselves either, that album.
I don't mind it. There's some great tracks on it. And it is one of those kind of linking albums between Ultraviolence and Act 3, because it's even it's even split like side A is like more like full on thrash, and then onto side B it kind of gets more slowed down and mellower, which kind of leads you to kind of Act 3. But would it make top 5? Definitely not.
Yeah, there's some really good moments in it, some really good thrashy moments, but they just peter out into these strange sort of little.
It's weird how this album has never got mentioned. I mean, that's like
now
you had to shout.
They're such a first sort of point for thrash metal.
Yeah.
But
Again, it's a good album. I really like it. I really enjoy it. But
it's just not awesome, is it?
exactly.
So a couple of other
Neither is
albums.
that.
Have been,
It's just
Oh,
not.
fucking give me a shot then.
Oh, boy.
Fucking hell. What about this one,
I
eh?
didn't know that.
Yeah, what do you think of this one, eh? What do you think of this one? Do you like that one?
What a-
Wait now.
Oh
Back
my-
now. I've got fucking 90 more albums to show you. What are you saying, mate?
What do you think of this one, eh?
Hey, what is this one?
Scottish bastard.
Tell you, what I was going to say is that there have been a few comments about Dark Angel. No one's shown Dark Angel.
Hold on, fuck it. Oh, hey, fucking, hey, I've got some fucking.
Oh, for
albums
fuck's
to
sake, yeah.
Fucking target, eh?
Yeah. But you're a bit fucking late, aren't you?
Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
Fucking
Bastards.
shit album.
Another honourable mention: Schizophrenia, Sepultura.
They're all fringe albums to me.
Fucking brilliant. Another one: Atrophy, Violent by Nature.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
Anyone
Thrash
got-
from Phoenix.
Anyone got Destruction?
Destruction, and this I've got this one here, especially to show for Simon for his amazing comments while we've been sorting out our list.
Mortal Sin.
Yeah, that's actually a good Mortal Sin album, but just nowhere near the top, is it?
No.
Right. Talking of
Well-
the top. Let's do the top. We've exhausted our viewers, I think.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if there's anyone actually watching. I think we're doing this for us now.
Yeah, this is purely just for us.
Right. So
Number 5.
Spreading the disease.
Yes.
Twisted into Form. Andy.
Andrew.
Hello? Yeah, I'm watching. What are you saying?
What's your number 5?
What's my number 5? It would be Forbidden.
Oh, right. So,
Sake.
2-2. Okay, so if we've got any of our beloved watchers still watching,
Is anyone still there, Andy? Seriously.
Oh, yeah, we've got 30 people on ish.
so
Right,
see what
number
see what
5.
comments. This is for number 5.
Yeah.
Number
Not
5. Let's do
Vote
number
for
5.
number 5.
So we've
I'll-
got one for Forbidden, one for Forbidden,
Wow.
one for Testament. Seriously.
That's not out of Testament, is it?
Anthrax.
Anthrax.
Oh,
Forbidden.
Oh,
Forbidden 3-3.
Forbidden.
Oh,
Forbidden.
Macca.
for fuck's sake.
Anthrax. Is anyone keeping track? Forbidden. So I'm thinking Forbidden
Right,
is 5.
Forbidden
Yeah.
Forbidden 5.
Okay, it's looking like Forbidden's 5.
Okay.
Looking like-
So number 4.
Number 4.
Spreading
Anthrax.
disease.
Comment with- put a number 4 next to your comment if you're going to comment.
Yeah, you've got to put number 4 now.
Yeah. Number 4, Anthrax.
And it can't be Forbidden because that's
Yeah.
5.
Because that's
Yeah,
forbidden.
Boom.
Number 4. Hang on, no, they only come into it if we can't agree, surely.
Well,
Yeah.
me and Scott have said 4 is Anthrax.
Yeah, well, I'm going Megadeth.
Ooh. Yeah, I'd go that as well.
Oh, hey, fucking hell.
You're actually fucking joking me. Because they're just going to team up and get Anthrax to number 1.
Yeah. It's what they're going to do, isn't it?
Well, no, because the public will decide.
It's what the bastards are going to do, Scott.
So
I know.
have you two gone for Anthrax?
Go on, Andy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a tie. So let's look at. So we've got number 4.
Number 4.
We have a one for Megadeth, one for Anthrax, Another one for Megadeth. Another one for Anthrax. Another one for Anthrax. Someone I used to appreciate a lot.
Yes. Come on, that's Anthrax. That's Anthrax.
Testament number 1. They have an Anthrax at another one.
Right, Anthrax. Fucking Anthrax.
Yeah, ignore that.
I know.
Anthrax.
Do you know?
Anthrax. It's Anthrax, guys, unfortunately.
It's Anthrax, isn't it?
What is?
Number 4.
Anthrax is number 4.
Fuck me.
Do you know what, though?
Mike, we can carry on knowing that we are on a higher plane than most of the people here.
Simon just made a point there. That there's no Teutonic thrash at all in that mad. You know, because it's held in high regard, and as we all know,
well, it is with me, but it's not at the absolute top, is it?
But we're talking about second album specifically. We're not saying that it's bad thrash.
Yeah,
we're saying compared to these other albums, in our opinion, these.
Yeah. When we get to third and fourth, album.
Let's go 3 then between Forbidden, Megadeth, and.
No, Forbidden's 5.
Oh, sorry. Megadeth, Testament, and Metallica.
So this is for 3.
It might be worth just quickly changing the thing, Andy, and putting it up again.
Yeah.
It's up. Oh, you mean actually putting the... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, in order.
Yes, hold on.
There's a bit of pressure on him there, boys.
Nice.
How the fuck did Anthrax make the top 5?
I can't believe that... I can't believe it's only... it's not number 1, to be honest.
Yeah.
What's my number 1, and I'm happy with that. So if the rest of you guys are just not going to be,
and he's only saying that because he's sleeping with it tonight.
I'm gonna have to get all the copies out and just play with them.
Yeah.
Right. So. Boom.
So number 3 Metallica,
Testament, or Megadeth?
Megadeth.
For me.
Megadeth. That was easy.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue with that.
Right. Well, we're gonna go with our opinions, but please feel free to carry on with your comments. I was going to say while I change this, but I can't really do them both at the same time.
So, gentlemen, we've got here. We're finally here.
Yeah. What's the number 1?
From Testament, The New Order, and Metallica, Ride the Lightning.
Close the window down.
And it'd be interesting to see what the viewers say as well. What is your favourite second release?
Listen,
well, let's ask the viewers first.
Before we say anything, why don't we let them put their comments in first?
Great idea.
Right.
So do not say anything. Let's see what the comments say first. So what is your number 1 for best second full-length thrash release?
Between Testament and
Metallica.
Though. It's got to be between these two. Otherwise, it's.
Yeah, don't give us your. Oh, but mine's this. We don't care. What's the best?
You don't care. You get all bollocks with your other opinions.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. Here we go. I've finally got there.
There's a lot going on for Andy here. We're all chilling out. Andy's got a lot on the plate here.
It's like I'm working properly again. So hold on. So we have got Jesus. People are going quickly.
Keep off, Andy.
Metallica 2. Sean's gone for number 2.
Testament.
Okay.
Testament. Bit slow there. Metallica.
Metallica for 2. That says.
Yeah.
It would be so much easier if you just said Testament for number 1.
Yeah.
Because now I'm confused with my counting. Hold on. So that's one for Testament, isn't it? If Metallica.
Well, I suppose we have worked up from 5, so we've kind of changed with the
yeah, I know. But people have got to realise we've been at this for 3 hours, 20 minutes, and I'm a bit bollocks now.
Yeah.
Metallica has got another one. And Metallica. And Metallica. It's currently drawing at the moment. Testament ahead. It's Metallica. Metallica.
Wow. It's close. It's really close.
Wow.
Here we go.
It is very close.
Isn't it?
It's not quite so close now. Okay, so that's Metallica number 1. Okay.
Okay.
Right, okay, boys. Let's pick ours then.
So starting off with the gaffer, the pilot of the ship.
Come on, Captain.
Oh, boy. So for me, it would be. Oh Christ!
Hard, isn't it?
It's as I am gonna go for Ride the Lightning purely because I think it is a more quality start to finish. Testament just has a little bit of filler with the instrumentals in it, and I kind of say that a little bit. It's hard because I love Testament more as a band from the full sort of career length, but Ride the Lightning out of those two would come second to Anthrax. So yeah. So
he had to get it in, Scott. He had to get it in.
He's a cock. Oh, fucking hell.
What do you think, Scotty, lad?
They're just two fucking epic albums, aren't they?
Oh, unbelievable.
Do you know what? I'm going to actually go against my instincts because if I really think about it,
that's not your number 1, then, is it?
No. Because when I really think about it, when I think about it, shut up. When I don't have to think about it, I've got an album in my head. But when I really do put them back to back and look at them, it's got to be Ride the Lightning. When I really thought it would be Testament, but it's Ride the Lightning. It's better.
Mike.
Okay.
Well, do you know something? I cannot improve on anything that Andy's said. He's read my mind with every aspect that he put in, even like in Testament more than Metallica on the whole and all that. I have to agree with every single thing he said. I'm just agree with him.
and I'll be honest with you. I was like Scott in my head. I was thinking it's Testament, the New Order. But when Andy just said, looking at it as a whole from front to back, Ride the Lightning. There's no filler. You know, the New Order might have those brilliant, but yeah, looking at
they're reckoning filler, whatever way you look at it, isn't it?
Yeah. And I kind of want the New Order to be the number 1, if I'm honest.
So do I.
I love that album so much, but
That's exactly how I thought. But if you really think about it, Ride the Lightning's, or the way Andy put it, Riding the Lightning.
I'm a hands-on kind of guy. You know, I want to be there.
Riding the light.
I am in there. I am on it. I am burning my balls on that lightning. I'm there all the way.
When you put them together, there's no denying that Ride the Lightning is superior.
Well, that
when we first sat down to do this video, in my mind, Testament was number 1.
Yeah, same here.
We've talked about it, and we've thought about it, and we've kind of discussed it. Do you know what? It is Ride the Lightning. It's a better album.
Andy's hypnotised us in some bizarre way.
Yeah, it's strange.
Well, you know what my top one was, but I expected Ride the Lightning to be number one. To be honest,
I have to say,
I know Surrender the Disease is a bit divides people.
Yeah, I did think most. I mean, I knew Ride the Lightning. It's been voted the best thrash album of all time. But I was the same as you, Scott. In my head, I was like, it's the New Order, and nothing's going to budge me. The New Order is the best thrash album I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But doing this and talking about it and thinking about it, and having a couple of beers as well. But yeah, it is though, isn't it? There you go. That's it.
There you go. Riding the Lightning.
I saw that there. Fuck you there.
Hold on. Just change it to Alice.
I was wondering. I thought you meant
just change it.
I mean, we've got Riding the Lightning, Alice in Hell, Neverland.
Change it to Alice in Hell, Riding the Lightning.
Yeah, you're also kind of there with your non technical jobs.
Yeah. We're shit at clicking buttons. And spelling right. That's where we struggle.
What I love about this now is when we ever talk about these albums ever again between us four, that will be known as Riding the Lightning.
So just very quickly, going around the table, if you had your own way, what was your top 5 in order?
I can't remember now.
Andy?
Mine would be Anthrax, Metallica, Testament, Megadeth, and then I was kind of, I don't know, struggling really. Probably, maybe not even Twisted into Form. Maybe even, I don't know. The fifth one I was struggling with because it was so tight.
Can't remember now.
Probably Forbidden. I'll stick on the end, but that would be my nailed on first 4.
It's funny how it's tough, isn't it, to get 5? You can get 4 quite easy, and 5's a tricky one. For me, it was going to be. I mean, it wasn't this order, but I've decided it is this order now. But it was going to be Spread the Disease, Testament, Metallica, Mordred, and Megadeth. Mordred was number 4 for me. Sorry, not Megadeth, Sacred Reich. Mordred and Sacred Reich were in there for me, believe it or not. But then, I agree with the order out of what we've got, I mean, Ride the Lightning is, as much as I fucking didn't want it to win because of who it is, I think I've got such a downer on them now. It affects my judgment of the early stuff.
Oh God,
So was anyone?
Now. I think my top 5 would be Testament, Annihilator,
2,
Overkill.
Wow.
Twisted into Form. How many is that?
8.
8.
And possibly, see, this is where it gets tough. Dreamweaver.
I'm really surprised that you hold Dreamweaver in that high regard.
Schizophrenia.
And I missed Ride the Lightning. Wait, now,
Destruction in there.
If anybody else is watching and wants to stick up their top 5s, feel free to share them.
Do you know what, Simon? I need to listen to that Destruction album more.
It's the first one. No, it's not the second, is it? Eternal Devastation's the second.
I've got a few more.
The first one.
Oh yeah, it was 2 albums together though, wasn't it? This was my top 5 anyway. If you're interested, boys, it was Forbidden, Twisted into Form, Flotsam, Jetsam, Peace Cells, Ride the Lightning, The New Order.
I've not seen Anthrax there, mate.
Yeah, you're quite right.
We've got all right. We're pretty much done in terms of what we set out to do, but I've still got a few that I didn't show that were also rans. So I'm gonna.
Has Mike not showed them yet?
I was. But no, that's because these are good albums. This is one that you could argue is a third album if you want to go for EPs as a second album. That's a great thrash metal album. There's no White Act of God. Brilliant.
Too
album.
expensive. Never heard it.
Not as impressed as I thought I would be. And I'm pretty new to this album, but it's good. But it's not as it doesn't have a lot of things that are memorable to me.
No, it's good, but it's not.
I think it's quite a snowfest, that, to be honest, compared to the first one.
Some Warfare, punky thrash metal. Again, none of these would have made the top 5, which is why I didn't show them. But I really like them anyway. This is just kind of it's raw. It's got Kronos from Venom on it as well, so and produced by him. So it's that kind of what you're going to get. I like a bit of early Suicidal Tendencies, but I knew they were never going to make the cut.
Brilliant.
Join the army. We mentioned Slammer earlier on. It's a bit of a Metallica loving, but a decent album.
Yeah.
Malaya Rage, I was really like this one. Nowhere near the top, but that was a cool listen.
Yeah, good album. Good album.
This one I'm too new to. I know the first one really well.
Love that album. Love it.
Holy Terror, sorry, Mind Wars. Great album. And a bit of Gamma Bomb as well, Citizen Brain. It's a great, good, fun album.
Yeah, that's one thing I never did. I never picked any. I was looking at some of the newer bands, like Havoc and Warbringer and Bonded by Blood, bands like that.
Yeah, I didn't think they would go with it, but
that's
also
brilliant. Raging Steel, that's a brilliant album.
Damn and Death Row, both I'm still a little bit too new to, but all very good. I need to get that one.
Second Violence album. It's good. It's a good. It's not Eternal Nightmare, but it's a good album.
Actually, this is one that really jumped to my opinion. I think you got this as well, Mark, haven't you?
Arbitrator. Yeah.
Dark and Reality was one that I thought I'd listen to. It's a UK band, and they've got punk roots as well. But I thought, I'll just stick it on. And I was amazed at how many from the last time I listened to this that I actually remembered, and I really enjoyed it. Judge and Jury, Suicide Commercially, Choose Your Weapons, Dark and Reality, No Second Chance. This is a great band. Great band. Nowhere near the top 5, obviously. UK thrash. It's didn't get any of it.
Definitely worthy of checking out, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Arbitrator. Definitely worth checking out. Anyone else got any ones they didn't show?
We could have showed Laz Rocket. And I
know Your Enemy. That's second.
I know Your Enemy. Yeah,
I've not got that.
I listened to Vector, but I knew that was never going to get anywhere, and so I didn't bother with bringing it out.
Terminal? Was that one?
No, it's the Outer Isolation.
Yeah, that's the one I don't get on with. I like the other two, but I haven't clicked with that one yet.
Never really spoke about Survive.
Yeah, it's Our Mental is that we didn't bring out.
Did we not show
no,
it?
Nobody
we showed it to ridicule my choice of the Plague.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I put it on. I put it on and give it a go. But to be honest, Survive's never been my big nuclear album. It was. I always jumped towards Handle with Care and Game Over.
I'm the same.
This is
Survive's just been like lost. I do like it, but it's not a patch on the others for me.
I remember loving this album when it came out, But this was another one of these ones when I played it again for doing a bit of research for this. I didn't get all the way through it. It just felt a little bit, felt a bit generic.
So honestly, I think, by all means, let's do some other videos in between. But I think we should definitely do a third albums, because there's some absolutely awesome ones then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think like the debuts and the third will be a lot easier than this one.
Yeah.
This was tough. This was hard. It really was.
It was. Yeah. I just thought there was the quality wasn't there overall. I just thought there wasn't the quality, and I did want to find I did want to dig out some stuff and go, fuck you, mainstream shit, and I couldn't. As hard as I tried, I must have listened to 25 albums. I've got fucking all sorts down here, and I just wanted to stuff it to the man sort of thing, and I just thought I can't. I know Metallica aren't really, in the cold light of day, that you can't really say they're a thrash band, but you've got to sort of acknowledge
they are. How can you not call them a thrash band when they
I think they had that period. I just think they're a metal band with thrash leanings, to be honest.
Well, maybe they are now, but at the time they were thrash. They were.
Well, I think they were. But then when you look back at thrash overall, it kind of it evolved a little bit. And if I think of thrash, to be honest, if the word thrash comes up, first band I think of is Testament. It's probably never going to be Metallica.
But hey,
Testament
we can have fun going through these lists, can't we? Whether you like the albums or not, we always have a fucking great laugh on these videos.
Yeah. This one now, so Metallica was 1 and Testament was 2. Can you remember on the debut albums what was 1 and 2?
Yeah, Testament and Metallica probably.
Was it? That's what I'm trying to think. Yeah, was Testament.
I know Kill 'Em All was in there.
bear with me, and I will chuck it up. I've still got it.
The Legacy was first, but
Legacy was first, but was Metallica second. I'm trying to figure out whether it's a battle between them two.
Hold on.
The boss is going to find out.
Could have used that high IQ, mate, and just chuck it up here. Boom. There we go.
Oh.
That was
right. Yeah, you see, Violence and Death Angel just the quality dropped off so much.
Yeah. So So Metallica, Forbidden, and Testament have made it into the top 5 twice now with us, haven't they?
Yeah.
Quality.
We're doing something right.
And I would guess 2 of those would make it into the 3rd as well. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
I would say there's not many people even heard the 3rd Forbidden album.
No,
it's actually better than you think, but it's not twisted into form or Forbidden Evil.
No.
Oh, we'll maybe talk about that next time.
Yeah, good idea, Scott.
Well, guys, this has been despite the fact that we thought that the music wasn't necessarily up to par, I think the banter and the debate has certainly been over par, under par, which is better. Fucking I don't do golf.
Under par. Yeah.
It's been fucking awesome. So
we all got a birdie.
A hole in one.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for everybody for tuning in. As you know now, Riding the Lightning is number 1.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Yeah. And if you've got any ideas for future videos, leave it in the comments.
But they've got to include Mike. But
they don't. If somebody wants me replaced on this stream, just speak up and I'll fuck off.
Well,
for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I've actually had 5 or 6 volunteers already, so that's
nice.
no. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I think we're going to close it out now. Been brilliant as always, and maybe we won't leave it as long next time, but who knows?
No, we'll sort that.
yeah. Thanks, everyone.
That's on my shoulders. Thanks everyone for
No
watching.
worries.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.